up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Big and Blizz podcast. This is episode 24. Tonight we have some guests on. We've got our brothers Carlos, and he's going to be giving his opinion on a lot of shit. You know, probably debating a little bit. And our brother David is here, who's probably going to play the background, but you might hear from him. So, as usual, we're your hosts, Big Mike, and I'm Blizzy, and we're going to jump into shit.
Hey, real fast, it's episode 25.
It's episode 25.
Yeah, 24 was Steph breaking the record.
Oh, I have it on 24. You want to run it back, or you want to?
Nah, we're cool.
All right, fuck it. Episode 25. Thank you, Big. Yeah, again, this is like, what, 2 or 3 weeks in a row with some terrible news for the sports world. But we have to send another RIP out and thoughts and prayers to John Madden and his family. Motherfucking legend. Obviously, he passed away, what was it, 2 days ago?
2 days ago.
At the ripe old age of 85. And like we were talking about, like, it's not something that should have been unexpected. You know, he's getting older. But it kind of came out of left field, in my opinion. It was kind of unexpected. It would have made more sense if you had seen other reports, like he was in bad health and stuff like that. But it was kind of like a bomb dropped on me. And I have no personal relation with this man besides the fact that I've played his football games forever and respect him for who he is and what he's done for the culture of the NFL. You know?
Oh yeah, he's one of those guys who doesn't matter whether you barely watch the NFL or you're just mainlining NFL news every morning when you wake up.
That's Los over here.
Like, you know who he is. Like, everybody from the smallest fan to the biggest fan knows who John Madden is.
Absolutely. One, and Carlos over here is a diehard Raiders fan. So, like, and John Madden means something different to you than it even does to us. You want to speak on it, dude?
Yeah, I mean, you know, obviously I wasn't around, you know, when they won the Super Bowl in '77 against the Vikings, but that's
he even knew who they played. That's the end of the year. That's
32-14 was the final score.
Damn it.
He's reading a teleprompter.
Got it all up on the screen right here. But you know, when you're in arguments and you're like, you know, oh, well, we won 3 Super Bowls. You know, back then that was one. Yeah. He led you to. He gives you that talk that you can. You know, you might not see him, and the trophies are old as dust. But there's people that were living before us that got to, you know, experience. That's who the Raiders were. They were
a
at
powerhouse.
the time. They were a powerhouse,
Yeah.
and he was a big part of that for that 10 years. He was a coach. You know, the second most. Over 100 games, he has the second best winning percentage.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think he's like 102 and 23 or something like that. Maybe 107 and 23. But just as you were saying, like, nothing really came out about. It was kind of sudden that he passed. But Abby and I were talking actually.
Okay.
They just came out with that all Madden thing last weekend. I don't know if you've seen that.
It was on ESPN. Okay, no, I haven't seen it yet.
So maybe we didn't know.
Yeah.
But maybe his family knew something, they didn't leak it.
Yeah.
Because it would he was never wanting to be things about him. And that's why he left coaching. That's why he never really wanted it to be about him. So maybe his family knew something was happening because they came out with that special for him last week.
That would make a lot of sense. Because for it to come out and then all of a sudden he passed away, it lined up perfectly like that. You know, I can't say perfectly. It's sad that he's passed.
It could be a coincidence, but
could be. But
for it to be, you know, a week apart.
Yeah, well, I mean, they would have had to probably divulge some of the information to ESPN then to get that documentary running, though. So it might be a coincidence. At the same time, like, who knows? And you're right, we didn't see anything as a public, and usually, like, especially with sports reporters and investigators, like, they find everything and anything, but maybe his
Woj didn't find nothing out?
Right, yeah, right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Shit, you mean...
Woj sleeps in dumpsters, bro. That man finds some shit, and I'm just like...
you would have breaking the news to us if that was the case, but it's a sad situation. We've been losing a lot of athletes recently. You know, what's crazy is I just... I seen a story, let me see if I can pull it up, about a high school prospect who just passed away at 18 years old. I'll look it up in a second. I'll get back to it. But just from what I remember reading when we were going through pre-recording, is that he was 18. He was putting up big numbers. Had some scholarship offers like Florida State, Gators, and all this. Oh, and he went into do.
Yeah.
What happened?
He threw out the college.
He said Ole Miss.
Ole Miss. Okay, I didn't know what he said. That's why I was like. But
say it with your chest.
he had some scholarship offers and all this, and I guess he was tearing it up. I think he's from the Georgia area, and he went in for some everyday routine surgery and ended up dying. An 18-year-old kid, quarterback, like a stud. But it's sad. There's I guess people die every day, but when it comes to especially athletes, that's a common name in our homes, and it's a big name. It hits a little different, So, but R.I.P. to John Madden, and thoughts and prayers to his family.
Definitely, he was a legend, and one of the biggest names in football.
Oh yeah, biggest name.
So.
I mean, anybody who's ever picked up the sticks and played football.
There's
games.
some people that don't even really watch football that play the video game.
That
his name's plastered all over.
Yeah.
Well, he
imagine next year, because you know how they always do the base.
He better be the cover. He better be cover.
Oh, he's got to be.
They do the base disc, and then they do like the second, and then there's
it'll be the deluxe.
The deluxe edition,
the $100
that
one.
Deluxe edition, the $100 edition of Madden better be fucking.
You gotta buy that.
I don't buy discs.
I don't buy
anymore,
Madden
but
anymore.
I'm about to buy a disc just to get everything that comes with it.
Well, I bought the Kobe, the deluxe edition for the 2. Well, I play 2K every year too, but the Kobe one was something special that I'm not going to let go to the wayside. That's going to be kept different. But yeah, the Madden and I stopped playing Madden probably like 2-3 years ago because it's just the same fucking game. Just the rosters have been updated. Mm-hmm. So.
I buy it every year once it goes on
Black
sale.
Friday. It was
I got it a little while back, and I've been on
$7.
No, it was like $20 or $30 still, but I bought it because I like the competitive side. I don't play against the computer because it's just not worth it.
Yeah.
But right now I'm in a connected franchise on the new Xbox.
Gotcha.
And I jumped in, and there was a few teams left, and so I took the Patriots, and I'm.
Sorry, we talked about this.
I think we're in week. We just finished week 6. I'm 6-0 with the Patriots right now. So there's only one undefeated team out of 32 guys. So.
Yeah, that's wild. That's crazy.
And that's the Panthers.
Really?
Yeah.
That's craziness. But
so back to like you were saying, there's guys that don't watch football, so that know him. He won 16 Grammys as a broadcaster.
Damn.
16.
You see this? That's what we're talking about. Los over here. Los has all. Los has all.
Of course, I'm going to know about one of the Raider legends, but 16 Grammys as a commentator. He started with CBS, and then Fox came and bought them out.
Okay.
And they paid him. This is back in 01, 04-ish, through that time.
Yeah.
They paid John Madden $32 million to take him from CBS.
And that was unheard of back then. Like Tony Romo.
$32 million.
Tony Romo hit like a $110 million deal, and that was unheard of. But those are like triple digits. Back then, double digits were unheard of, huh?
Unheard of. And he was doing. And even if you don't know him from football, he's known that in the movie The Replacements.
That's right.
He's hilarious in that segment, and then just when he did the Miller Lite, he would do commercials. He was funny. He was actually a teacher at Berkeley. Oh. After he retired as a coach,
he went back and got his master's in education.
They actually made a class for him, and it was Football 101.
Wow!
And you could actually learn the game of football. He would teach you the X's and O's, and he said his best students were females. They would learn the game more than some of the guys would.
Yeah.
So
that's.
We're starting to see female coaches. So.
Yeah. That doesn't surprise me at all. But yeah, John Madden was way more decorated than just football. But and then if you didn't know football, like you were saying, people don't know football and all that stuff. Like you have, was it Frank Caliendo, the comedian that does
John Gruden and all them. He can do great impressions.
Yeah, and Madden was like his bread and butter for a long time.
Oh yeah.
But there's so many. Just his John Madden's his image, his face, his name, his voice is just plastered through pop culture. Just athletics and just everything. Like he was bigger than life,
Oh, yeah. I'm still on this. If Madden doesn't do something big, then they fucked up.
Well, like I said, I stopped buying Madden and all that shit because everything's just the same. But if they don't do something big for that,
you're not wrong. It really is just a roster update, but it's the only football game I can play, and I want to play a football game. 2K needs, and that's like 3 years ago when the contract was expired for Madden the NFL and EA Sports. Everybody was hoping that they would see maybe 2K would take over the contract, and they re-signed with fucking Madden, or the NFL re-signed with, or Madden re-signed with 2K, or I'm sorry, EA, for another 10 years. Like 2K, so the rules, the way it reads, 2K could make one, but it can't be simulation style because that's so they could make an arcade kind of like NFL Street type game.
Yeah, but I'm saying they
couldn't make a simulation.
When the contract was up, I think the NFL should have went and Madden whatever 2K or sorry, the NFL should have signed with 2K and see what.
Well, why not? My thing is, why didn't they just? The NBA leaves it open. 2K or EA can make a fully licensed NBA game.
It's because the NFL. It's just.
Roger Goodell's a dumbass?
Roger Goodell. Yeah, it's everything's.
Don't check my emails, fool. Don't check them.
Yeah.
He's terrible.
I'll end up like Gruden getting fired over here.
Shit. Everybody said some fucking dumb shit in their life.
Before we move on from John Madden, but he was actually like he started at he's from San Mateo, died in Pleasanton, but he went to Oregon, redshirted, hurt himself. Lost that scholarship, went back, graduated from Cal Poly.
Oh, so he was a player's player. What position did he play?
He played offensive tackle and defense.
Okay.
But when he went to Cal Poly and played, he was a standout.
Gotcha.
Played, got hurt again. He was drafted by the Eagles. His knee blew out again.
Damn.
But so while he was sitting there,
back then when technology and health wasn't as
big.
Yeah, like Bo Jackson fucks his hip up and he's out. He's done.
Yeah, he's done.
Like now it's
a lot different.
Yeah, it's a lot different.
But he blows his knee out when he's playing for the Eagles. He's sitting there in the film room with all of the coaches, and he was out coaching coaches.
Damn.
And so that's when Al Davis hired him to their team as a linebackers coach under Sid Gilman. Sid Gilman was one of the guys who, before like a long time ago, NFL just used to be short passes, runs to the running back. Yeah. He's one of the guys who started helping with the vertical game.
Gotcha.
It's called the Sid Gilman tree, and he's got guys under him like Tony Dungy.
Some knowledge.
A lot of these coaches,
I'm learning.
A lot of these coaches come from the same trees.
Yeah.
And they got Tony Dungy, John Gruden, Bill Callahan, Sean McVay, a little bit of Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
What's his name? Dick Vermeil. He's there too. It's a whole tree.
Yeah.
And Al Davis had a big influence as much as
Vermeil used to be the Rams, right? Used to be the Rams coach.
Yes.
St. Louis Rams.
Him and Jerry Jones. Al Davis and Jerry Jones were so influential. They have just
Al Davis brought the AFC or the American Football League, AFL in, and then sued the NFL because they wouldn't let him move to LA and won like $40 million. Yeah. And Jerry Jones, that motherfucker gets shit done too. Like that's crazy. You know, Jerry Jones used to play I think offensive lineman or. He was a lineman, defensive in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
For the Oklahoma Cowboys or whatnot, I believe, because he's from Oklahoma. I don't think he ever played NFL, but you look at Jerry Jones, you don't think line, whether offense or defense.
Yeah, he looks tiny.
Yeah, exactly.
But who knows? You know, there was a difference between him and Al though. Jerry was in good with the owners and stuff, and all.
Jerry's a talker.
He's a talker. Al was like, my ego's not going to let that stop me. No. You're going to step on my toes. I'm going to come back at you. Jerry has them like this. Like Jerry can call up Goodell.
Kind of a narcissist.
Oh yeah, he was a narcissist. Jerry can call up Goodell and be like, "Hey buddy, can you take that fine off so and so? Can you get Randy Gregory suspended? Can you get Smith. Greg Hardy, Alvin Smith? Yeah. Sure. Al Davis was the opposite, and they still hate. The Raiders are still paying for it today.
Yeah.
And until I don't, who knows when, but out of all those emails, John Gruden's the only one that got dug up.
It don't make sense. It's fucking ridiculous. We've talked about that in the podcast too. Yeah. The shit's ridiculous.
But anyways,
going back to Madden. Going back to where you're finish that out because I'm learning.
No, just from that Sid Gilman tree, and then that's when from a linebackers coach he took over, and for 10 years that stretch he won 7. I believe he won 7 AFL titles, won the Super Bowl, and then that 10th year they lost. That 11th year they lost to the Steelers in that famous catch game with Franco Harris.
Yeah, that. I think he hit the ground, but whatever.
Yeah, and John Madden was 42, and he was like, I'm done." Like it was stressing him out.
Yeah,
it was stressing him out so bad. It was aging him, and he wasn't even. His family didn't even know who he was anymore. Yeah. So this is the second winningest head coach leaving at the age of 42.
Which is crazy because a lot of coaches don't even get a job till they're older than that.
Yeah, exactly. So he was, Sean McVay before Sean.
Yeah.
He was. Nowadays, you see all these coaches, and they're like, "Oh, Sean McVay's only 39." Well, John Madden was like 34.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if he talked the same way his whole career, his whole life.
Yeah, and he never flew. Like he doesn't fly.
Yeah, he took a bus everywhere.
And
he's afraid of flying, right?
Yeah. He had a bad panic attack on a flight once, and was like never again. I guess he went home and his wife was like, she was like scared because he didn't know. He doesn't even talk about what happened. All they know is it was a bad panic attack.
So, and that was like pre-coaching the Raiders?
That was as he was a linebackers coach.
Oh, so the Raiders traveling to fucking across the country to play games. He's
on a bus.
He was leaving before the team.
Yeah, 72-hour stretches.
Holy shit!
One of the nicest buses you'll ever see.
If you want to I've seen it. And but good thing there was no fucking Europe games back then.
Right?
He'd be put on the cruise liner. He'd have his own cruise ship, or he'd have a fucking cigar boat doing 200. It's just hitting waves, like. That's crazy. I didn't know. That's news to me.
And he had the same. Martin, maybe the guy. It was the same driver for 30 years.
Yeah. His bus. I've seen his bus
because he's taking him to when they commentated too. He would have to obviously drive to the games.
Yeah. No shit.
So that same driver grew up with him.
Think about the logistics. Holy shit.
It's part of his contract. Hey, bro, I don't fly, so y'all are paying for the bus.
Yeah. No, yeah, it has to be. But that's still crazy, though.
I watched his, on Instagram, the last game he ever commentated was the Super Bowl against, it was Pittsburgh against Arizona, the Santonio Holmes catch.
Was that like 2006?
2006, maybe, yeah. And like he's just he knew the game inside and out.
Like how Tony Romo is now. Yeah. But his commentating, the way he talked, like you could tell when he got to like that Super Bowl, probably he was just older and slower, But still, the mind was still there.
But still, 100%. Like the way he would talk about Larry Fitzgerald diagnosing a fade route, or how he ran the fade route, or how James Harrison was, running back
the pick six.
Yeah, maybe 92, 93 yards, longest in Super Bowl history.
Yeah, I think it was like 96 yards. I think I could be.
We're gonna just fly on different subjects. That guy's legs, dude. I was watching that video and I was like, "Oh."
That's what our podcast does, though. We talk about something and we jump to it. We went from talking about one thing one night to Taco Bell being out of commission and drive-through links, and we were like on this 15-minute spill about shit didn't even matter. We're like, hold on, we gotta bring this back in.
That's funny.
But yeah, no, Harrison. I watched that.
Dude, just a stud.
Yeah.
He's in his 40s. Sometimes he posts those gym videos where he's...
Oh, you talking about his workouts?
Yeah, he's just...
Bro, his workouts make me tired when I'm just watching them, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like...
When he's playing volleyball with the medicine ball?
Him and T.O. could probably still suit up. T.O. not as much.
I think they could.
I think he could, but he wouldn't be a deep threat like he was. Obviously, his legs.
Well, obviously, I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
I think Chad Johnson could too.
Yeah, I think they'd be like.
You ever watch their thing?
I watch I Am Athlete. Is that what you're talking
about? Yeah, I Am Athlete. Yeah, with Brandon Marshall.
Brandon Marshall.
Ocho Cinco, and then what's the guy's name that's on there too? He played for the Dolphins.
With the dreads.
The
Ricky Williams?
No, the light skinned guy.
Frank. No, I know you're talking about.
Not Fred Taylor, the other guy.
No, I'll look it up. Go ahead.
Yeah, Fred Taylor's the running back from the Jags. What was that guy? He's not as coveted as those other guys. He's nowhere near the player that all those other guys are.
But I know exactly.
But I love when they talk crap about racing, and Chad Johnson's like serious. Like,
Fred Taylor and Channing Crowder.
Yeah. And Chad Johnson's like, we can put the cleats on right now. Like, he is so serious that like people couldn't. He doesn't think Deion Sanders could have guarded him. Like,
I don't.
And they go back and forth.
If they were both in their prime, that's a hard one.
Well, if you watch
Chad Johnson, like
his wheels.
I'm just saying his ego is. Yeah. He honestly he probably thinks he's better than Randy Moss.
Well, that you're supposed to.
But if you watch his tape, he was open on probably 98% of his routes.
Well, and I'm just saying he's that guy. Like you get receivers like Julian Edelman, who's like, all right, I'm okay.
Yeah.
Like, he just doesn't have that ego. Yeah. And you got guys like Chad Johnson, who's like, I'm open every fucking time I run around.
And he is, yeah.
That's just, but like, receivers, like, there's been receivers that are super fucking good, like Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson didn't have that ego where he was like...
Yeah.
That's one, yeah. I would say he's probably the most humble one.
But
for the most part, they're mostly divas.
The wide receiver position is a diva. You're supposed to.
I would say Larry Fitzgerald and Calvin Johnson are probably the only humble, great receivers.
That I could think of.
Julian Edelman, he's not in their realm.
No, he's a slot. Though.
Yeah. Hunter Renfrow, he's not in their realm either, but he's super humble.
I love Hunter Renfrow.
He's going for 100 catches this year and 1,000 yards.
Crazy.
He doesn't have the frame none of these receivers do.
And he doesn't have the big name. I mean, people overlook him. He's been overlooked his whole life. Like, I watched the Hard Knocks the Hard Knocks. Obviously, I'm sure you did. Yeah. The Raiders Hard Knocks, and they were calling him
John Abram just talked the whole time and never backed it up. In the
Salmon. Yeah. But Hunter Renfrow, the jokes they were making on him, being like, "No, how old are you? Yeah. Like, no, you're at least 35."
He looks like a professor, like a 35-year-old professor.
But when they say, "Oh, who's the coach over there?" And like, "No, he's our receiver." Like, what?
So you see the route that he's put it on Xavier Howard, one of the best corners in the league. He put it on the Chiefs. It's a half spin stutter step. It's weird, but it's a triple move. It's not a double move.
Almost 180, steps right, and then cuts back left and go like. I know exactly.
So he started it in training camp this year.
Okay.
He was going up against Damon Arnett, the clown.
The fucking bang bang skeet skeet.
Yeah. And they're going.
Roll up, homie.
5 minutes out, right?
Pull
up, yeah.
That guy's a clown. Anyways,
fucking idiot.
They were going up against each other in training camp, and because I follow like Victor, all the Raiders insiders on Twitter.
Yeah.
So they go live feed, play by play. So Hunter Renfrow, they were going 1-on-1, and he hit him with that. And Damon Arnett was pissed. He's like, "That's not even a football move." Like, that's what he was trying to tell me. He's like, "I've never seen something like that before in my life." Like, completely embarrassed him. And then the Raiders posted it on their social media.
Was he commenting?
They took it down within seconds because someone was like, "Hey, like, you're leaking that move that he's going to be using." They posted it, and they were like, it was gone.
Hey, dumbass.
Other people had saved it, though, and were retweeting it. But every time someone would by the time it would spread, it would get deleted again. Twitter was deleting it fast.
Yeah, because the Raiders, some fucking young, snot-nosed dude was like, "Oh, I'm putting this on our social media page." Yeah. They're like, "Don't put the..." People don't know what he does.
Well, there was a big thing, and you can look it up, I don't know, but during training camp, it's training camp. You know, the quarterbacks aren't live. But he was destroying Jalen Ramsey. Hunter Renfrow was.
Yeah.
And they were getting into it on Twitter.
I
don't know if you ever saw that.
I saw some of that. I did.
Like, he made... supposedly, he was making Jalen Ramsey his son.
Didn't Aaron Donald almost get into it with one of your...
He gets into it with us every year.
Every training camp.
Last year, him and
Aaron Donald is like Ndamukong and Sue. Is really
without the
dirtiness, but like that over aggro motherfucking defensive lineman. Aaron Donald was aggro.
And when you're hurting another big man's feelings, like, it's not fun.
Yeah.
When you're a 6'5" lineman that weighs 390 and another grown man moves you out of the way like that, it's gonna hurt your feelings.
Especially when you're a smaller,
over aggro.
You're shorter and you're smaller in weight, and you're a smaller white guy.
Oh, he don't look
pushes
like
a big black dude around. No, I saw that.
And Aaron Donald don't look like a defensive tackle.
No, he doesn't.
Like, he's built like a D, and he
just
switches
like Myles Garrett.
Dude, Myles Garrett's a specimen, man.
We talked about that shit where he always played with sleeves.
I know.
The first game he didn't have sleeves. He got a random drug test.
Dude, like, I just wish I could flex in this.
Wow! I would never have. I would have my jersey cut. I would have my jersey.
I would look like Belichick and everything just be cut off at this point,
right?
Remember, and 2008 when everybody was cutting their shirts like this?
Like Lawrence,
that would be me walking around just like this.
I'd be like half Belichick and half Zeke. I'd just have a tube top,
looking like that Baylor. Who was that Baylor kid?
Oh yeah, the one that got falsely accused.
What was that?
He was a big motherfucker.
That fucker would just show up with a shirt like this to the coin toss.
He was a meme for a long time.
Yeah, he falsely accused of rape, and then they figured out that he didn't do it, but by that time, fucked his whole career. That's a whole other story.
Those girls should be charged for life.
Like, absolutely, I think that should be, and I think if females
Oakman.
Stedman.
If females,
Sean Oakman,
if females actually had some repercussions for falsely accusing people, and it was proven or they admitted if they did have repercussions, I think there'd be a lot less false allegations made, you know.
Well, they've been doing it for a long time. I mean, the
biggest
one
was
Kobe.
Brian, is not Dawkins. Brian, the one that they made the movie about. That was he was a high school stud and had sex with a girl on campus.
Oh yeah, didn't he end up with he spent time in prison?
He spent 8 years, 7 or 8 years, and then the Falcons after he came out because he couldn't play anymore, and he was still in great shape. I think he could have played. They gave him a walk-on tryout. He made the practice squad. He suited up and actually started in, I don't know if it was a preseason or a regular season game, but he lost his prime.
He lost his life.
And they offered him, the owner of the front end of, I think it was the Falcons, said, "Hey, we really want you to be here. Like, we feel so bad for what happened to you." And he's part of the staff, last I heard, or he's still in the NFL. So they wanted to fulfill his dream.
The last thing, they can do something, man, because that's messed up.
They made a whole movie about it. He's from the Bay Area, I believe. But I watched
Brian
Brian Banks. Yes, you haven't seen that movie?
I've never seen the movie.
I think it's called Brian Banks. Like it's a dope ass.
Honestly,
movie.
I think you've told me about the movie like several times, and I just never watched it.
You guys check it out. It's sad.
Yeah, so he went to Long Beach College. Okay, where he went.
Long down there, but literally, I almost cried watching the movie, and I don't get emotional.
He was verbally committed to USC before everything happened. He went to Polytechnic High School in Long Beach.
He actually did his time, got out, was on parole or whatnot, and went to prison at 16.
2013 is when he played for the Falcons.
Yeah. The girl freaking reached out on Facebook trying to just see how he's been, and he
played linebacker.
He actually got her to admit on recording that she lied. And he didn't coerce her. He just went over there and she talked and admitted to all that shit. And she ended up suing, her mom sued the school district and all this shit for like $3 million and won. And now she has to pay all that back. So it's a crazy story, but anyways.
He works for the NFL now.
Yeah, that's what we were talking about.
No, so in 2014, Roger Goodell asked him to speak to the rookies at the rookie symposium they do every year. And after his speech was done, it was taken in so like everybody loved it.
Tears and shit.
He joined the NFL's Department of Operations.
That's dope.
And that's where he works.
So he's still an employee of the NFL, that's just cool. Not in the way he wanted. But you know what? Probably a way longer career than he would have had.
Yeah.
So who knows? He was a stud, but he could have came out, fucked the shit up in the first season, or
not have had a career in the NFL at all. It all happens for a reason.
Absolutely, 1,000,000%.
The school sued the female.
They sued her back. Yeah.
Yeah, they sued her back because they paid for a lot of
everything,
attorney fees and stuff,
and a settlement.
$2.6 million is what she was. I don't know if she actually paid it back or not.
Well, she's gonna be on the hook for the rest of her life.
Well, that chick that did the same thing like I was saying with Kobe.
Yeah.
Come on, it's Kobe Bryant. You're hideous. Like you're not.
She was.
And like you're really there's no way you didn't come onto him and see millions of dollars.
Yeah. She worked at the hotel, and when they tested her, supposedly from what I've heard, is she had like 8 different samples of, or not, I don't know, different types of semen in her.
7, yeah.
Like. She got a train ran on her.
She was just trying to find the right guy. Tinder swiping left and right.
And she did find the right one.
It was a train, for sure.
She did find the right one because he settled out of court. And people were like automatically guilty because he settled. No. Yeah. It's because you don't want to ruin your fucking career, you know? Like, he almost lost his family and all that shit. It's a sad situation. I don't know how we got off John Madden onto this, but R.I.P. to a legend. But, Mike, do you want to talk about the NFL Hall of Fame finalists?
Yeah, so there's the 15. And so last year I don't know if everybody knows, but they inducted all 15.
It's unheard of.
Normally they do 4 to 8 is kind of the window. Last year they did all 15 because it was the 100th year of the NFL.
Okay.
Yeah, so they just said all the 15 finalists, boom, here's your gold jackets. Big celebration, boom, 100 years, 15 finalists. Boom. So the 15 this year are Jared Allen, obviously one of the best defensive ends.
Yeah, absolutely.
These guys are in their first year of eligibility that made the list. Andre Johnson, DeMarcus Ware, and Devin Hester, the only 3 that are on this 15 that are on their first ballot.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Honestly, you know what's funny is I literally was in a... Because I was at work in a trailer stacking boxes over at the fucking distribution center the other day, and this guy's a diehard Bears fan because his family's like from Chicago, and he was talking about, this is funny because this came up. He was talking about how Devin Hester needed to be in the Hall of Fame, blah blah blah.
The human joystick.
And I was like, honestly, the motherfucker changed the return game.
Yeah.
Like before him,
he still holds records.
Before him, people weren't drafting guys to return. Now teams will be like
you
fourth round.
You don't draft special teamers unless they're a kicker or a punter.
Now dudes will be like 4th round. That motherfucker can return punts for us.
Yeah.
And they'll take him. But
he still holds all the records for.
But that's what I'm saying. So it's just funny that as I see this popped up like 4 days after talking to this dude about it. So Jared Allen.
I'm going to get on Devin Hester, but go ahead.
Oh yeah, Devin.
There was a thing about where Jay Cutler wouldn't throw him the ball.
Yes.
They were beefing.
Because
dude, that guy could run routes. Like,
because who do you have? Brandon Marshall there, Jay Cutler and Brandon Marshall, and that's who.
Yes.
They've been together since Broncos days. They were like.
But that was the thing. That's what.
But when he would get the ball thrown to him, he would put up. Dude, he started the verticals. Like he was.
Only got to have 100 speed on Madden.
He was Tyreek Hill before Tyreek.
Just doesn't get the same amount of respect.
He doesn't.
And he wasn't ever in the best system ever to be used as a wide. He's like, you know who's similar to him? And now he's finally found a home? Cordell Patterson.
Yeah. Who's he with now?
Falcons. And they use him like crazy. The 5 gadgets
he was with the Raiders.
Not used properly with the Raiders or the Vikings. Nope. And now he rushes for touchdowns. The dude's a monster.
He's their Swiss Army knife.
Exactly. Yeah. And it took them a while to find the right.
And the crazy thing is he's at the back end of his career.
That's even crazier.
In his prime, think about what he could have done if he was utilized, you know?
Go ahead, Mike.
So, no, you're good. So, obviously, like we said, Jared Allen. I don't know how he didn't get it on his first try.
Yeah.
Because it's not his first time on the Hall of Fame ballot.
Country-ass motherfucker.
Willie Anderson, who's an offensive tackle for the Bengals, and then played 1 year with Baltimore. Rondé Barber, defensive back.
Tiki's twin brother.
Yeah. Great corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, so...
Buccaneer, won the Super Bowl.
Buccaneer.
Picked off Rich Gannon.
Yeah, well, when everybody picked off Rich Gannon, and when...
That's just a great defense in secondary.
And the Raiders coach that took the interim coach through the game from what Jerry Rice and Tim Brown think.
Yeah.
And I
believe those guys.
I agree that he threw the game to John Gruden.
Yeah.
But, sorry, go ahead.
Tony Bosley, he's a tackle, played with the Jaguars. Leroy Butler, played for the Packers, safety. Devin Hester again. Mainly punt and kick return is what everybody knows him for, but he played wide receiver. He also played a little bit of corner for those people that don't actually know. Because corner was actually...
He was a decent corner, too.
Yeah.
He actually was drafted as a corner.
Yes.
Everybody doesn't... For those people that don't remember.
Yeah.
And he... Not half bad. And I honestly... I don't know if it was more his just raw athleticism.
Was it Hester that coined the peanut punch? Is it Hester? No. Who the peanut punch? Who? He was a Bears player, though, right? The corner or safety.
I don't know.
I'll look it up. Sorry, go ahead.
But he played a few years for Chicago, Atlanta.
Wait, hold on. The peanut. That's who played. That is him. No, it's Charles Tillman.
Okay, Tillman.
Peanut,
but it was still Bears. Okay,
but it's the Bears. Yeah. I thought you were saying who imitated him.
No. I said I thought I could because they're both Bears. I think these
they look alike, same hairstyle.
Yeah. So I was like, wait, was it Devin Hester? But no. Okay.
So it is Devin Hester's first ballot. So we'll see if he makes it.
First ballot. Okay. I don't think he's a first ballot.
I don't think he is too because it was special teams that he really.
I think it's hard because it's one of those things where he changed special teams. So do they look at it that way?
Yeah.
Where it's like.
And who votes?
Hall of Fame.
I voted earlier when I was looking this up, so you can vote. Fans can vote, but I also think it's
how much
I don't
weight
think they matter.
How much weight?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You know how when it used to be the NBA used to be all fan voting, and then they changed the weight of it, type of thing.
Yeah.
So
there's not much weight, and it's like California voting Republican, you know.
Really,
there's no weight in it. For me, there's never.
That's why I don't vote very often.
There's no reason to vote here. Like it's always going to be blue no matter what.
Yeah. Well, so with this, it's probably more coaches, players, and media.
Media are usually
100%.
The fans
coaches,
are
players,
like,
and media.
Those
are the only guys that hold weight.
Yeah.
That's how that in the top 75 for the NBA. Wasn't that all?
Oh yeah. So Mike, we talked about that? We were talking about this on Christmas when I was down at their place about the 75th team. So the first 50, the 50th anniversary players, they were automatically grandfathered.
Yeah. So from the way I read the article, it was literally like the first 50
and we discussed this on the podcast.
Was the 50th. Just boom, they're all automatically in.
Yeah.
And so really there was only 25 open spots.
Yeah, that list don't matter.
It's an arbitrary list, really, is what it is.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's one of those things where it's like a popularity contest.
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
It's not necessarily who really is the top, but it's just...
Yeah, because if you have a bunch of endorsements,
if
you're all plastered on billboards and social media and commercials, then...
I honestly, if you look back, Charles Barkley probably ended up on that list.
He is on that list.
And he's not that fucking good. He's honestly...
You don't think so?
I don't think he's the top 75 of the NBA.
I don't think he's top 75.
Probably not, but he's pretty...
You know, that's what I'm saying.
But I get what you're saying. We're talking about the top 75. Yeah.
If you're like, hey, Charles Barkley is in my top 50, I'm like, I don't know if I put him in my top 50.
I don't know if I trust your knowledge of sports. No.
So we have different, and then Tory Holt.
Tory Holt, great wide receiver, the greatest.
Well, it's not his first ballot. He's been his last year was 2009, which means if Hester's last year was 2016 and this is his first attempt, so that means obviously
you have to be out of the league for 5 years. Yeah.
So that means Holt's been waiting. What has he been? This is 12 years on the ballot.
Yeah,
that's about right. He might get it this time.
So he was part of the Rams, the St. Louis Rams' greatest show on turf.
And then I forgot that he spent his final year with Jacksonville.
Oh yeah,
just because I only remember him in a Rams jersey.
Yeah,
but another first balloter. I don't know if he's. I don't think he makes it first ballot, but it is his first ballot on the Andre Johnson. I don't know if
probably not.
I don't see him as a first ballot wide receiver.
I don't see it,
but it is his first year on the ballot.
Great wide receiver.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And he's been out for what, 15, 20 years?
No, 5.
No, yeah.
Wait. Andre Johnson only retired 5 years ago?
Yeah, 2016.
Really?
He was only drafted in 2003.
Shoot, he just fought Cortland Finnegan like 6 years ago.
Yeah, bro. I just saw an article on that the other day where they were like, it was Johnson was rehashing that
I was
shit.
seeing Andre Rison.
For the Bills, that's what I was going to say, but I didn't know if that's...
And then Sam Mills, linebacker. This man's been retired since 1997.
Yeah, Sam Mills is an old name.
Yeah, he was drafted in '86 to the Saints. So, I mean, at some point, do they kind of just not allow you to be on this list anymore?
No,
look how long it took Tom Flores.
They changed all the parameters of the list and how long you can be on all this. I just watched the thing.
So Richard Seymour's the next one. Obviously, he
first
played.
Ballot.
It's not his first ballot.
Really?
He's been sitting. He's retired in 2012, so he's been sitting on the ballot
for
2 years.
2017 was when he could have first been brought up.
About
4 years.
10 years. Yeah.
This will be his second ballot then.
4.
I thought so. You got to wait 5, right?
Yeah. So 2012 plus 5 is 17. So then 17 plus 4 is 21.
Wow.
So this will be his 4th attempt.
Wow.
Damn.
That surprises me because honestly, I don't know. I don't know if I'd say first ballot, but second.
At least. Yeah, growing up watching Richard Seymour dominate from the defensive tower. He's in Donna-Sue before Donna-Sue.
Yeah.
Oh, facts. And then Zach Thomas, Miami Dolphins linebacker,
the white guy.
Yeah, he's been.
That guy was a stud.
Yeah.
Dude.
He's been probably not first.
He's
not first ballot. This is the only. There was only 3 out of the 15, and this is the 3rd one right here. And honestly, if he doesn't get his first ballot, it will surprise me. DeMarcus Ware.
Yeah. Has to be first.
Has to be. Has to be.
Top 5 pass rusher of all time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Agree.
Like if he doesn't get first ballot.
You know what's crazy is to see him go to the Broncos.
Well, he's a Cowboy, so he will.
Yeah, it's right. Jerry Jones. Yeah. To see him,
and don't forget, he won a championship with me. With the Broncos,
that's what I'm saying. To see him leave the Cowboys, to leave the Cowboys, I was heartbroken. But to go and win one, I think that's every Cowboy was happy for him.
Well, and not just win one, play a role.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
A lot of these guys go and they just ride it out to win a ring. This dude actually still played a role.
Him and Von Miller.
Him and Von Miller terrorized. Yeah. Von Miller himself terrorized.
Was it Cam Newton?
Cam, yeah. That's when he didn't dive on the ball. I want to look up, actually.
He gave up.
DeMarcus Ware's stats because a lot of people called him old and washed when he went.
No.
But he actually still...
He's a fucking monster.
I think at that time, when he went there to win a ring, he's better than what Bradley Chubb is now. Damn. And he was old.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it. I
had a lot more hopes for Bradley Chubb, man. And injuries are...
It's been a bitch
derailing
him. Yeah, it's been a bitch for him.
And those are one of the things you have to. People don't look at injuries. They just look at who you were in your stats. Injuries are a part of not being a bust.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Well, that's why, personally, sometimes, and I know this is what we were talking about. We were talking about this off podcast, but the Kwame Brown, Greg Oden thing.
Yeah.
I feel like Kwame Brown's more of a bust than Greg Oden because at least Greg Oden had injuries.
Yeah.
Kwame Brown didn't have no excuses.
No excuse, yeah.
He had Kobe fucking Bryant.
Yeah.
And Michael fucking Jordan. Well, not the same Mike, but yeah.
He had the prime Kobe, and shit the bed. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean?
So DeMarcus Ware was still putting up double-digit sacks.
Oh, yeah, he was.
Yeah.
He didn't have a long career. 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, he spent... Well, this says...
So 10. I wonder if that alone doesn't put him on first ballot.
This says 10 right here. It says 8 with Dallas and then 2 with the Broncos.
That'd be 10.
Okay.
Yeah, 10, yeah.
Well, I mean,
yeah.
9, 10, whatever. And then...
That's a good career.
Reggie, 10 years at the linebacker position.
Like he did.
Linebacker / DN.
DN, yeah. He had his hand in the dirt a lot.
Reggie Wayne is the next guy.
Yeah, Reggie Wayne's
got first ballot.
Yeah, 1 million.
Was not his first ballot.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, because 2016. If you retired in 2016, this would be your first ballot. This means he retired in 2014.
Okay,
which just means this would be his second ballot.
So is it So after the 5-year eligibility, is it every year?
Every
after
year
that?
You can be voted to the top.
And they do it every year, correct?
Yeah.
Well, all it takes is one
person.
I could write.
Okay, I can see Reggie Wayne, but maybe I was confused at first. Like Marvin Harrison, is a first ballot Hall of Famer.
I agree.
He's in the Hall of Fame now, correct?
I believe Marvin Harrison is. Yeah,
he would have to.
Yeah.
There's no way he's still waiting.
No, I don't think so. And that's like, but this shit's stupid. Like T.O. had to wait until like the public got involved.
Yeah. So Marvin Harrison,
I think Calvin
was inducted. I'm trying to see. He's in the Hall of Fame. I'm just trying to see.
Do you think Ocho Cinco is Hall of Fame?
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
He's just been shunned.
2016 is when he was inducted.
And he retired in 2010, 2011, right?
Yeah. He was first ballot.
Yeah, first ballot.
Yeah.
Ocho Cinco's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I
don't think they give him first ballot.
No, maybe not.
No, I'm not first ballot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying that I think he deserves it, but he's been shunned. I don't think he'll ever get in the Hall of Fame.
You know
T.O., it was crazy because they're outspoken.
Yeah.
Because of how outspoken they are. T.O., he would have never got it in, but it took the public getting involved and really like going to bat for him. First ballot. T.O., absolutely.
Top 3 wide receiver.
Well, look at his reception yards. I think he's third.
Yeah.
What is it? Third, second or third?
Just
Jerry Rice, and then, or it was. I don't know if it's been passed like recently. Like
I know AB's up there too.
Yeah, Antonio Brown.
But here's the thing about Terrell Owens is T.O.'s probably he did it for the longest.
Yeah.
He never had that. He might have fell off from that last year, but he never. Here's his peak. He didn't just nosedive off.
He was here. He didn't plateau and go down.
Yeah, he did it for so long.
Yeah.
So it's Jerry Rice,
Fitzgerald. Okay, so that's
and then T.O.
Okay, so he is third, and Fitz only took it like less.
Fitz is.
When did he?
2,000 yards ahead of Terrell
So like
Owens.
3 seasons within the last 3 seasons before his retirement, and he retired last season. Fitz.
Last season.
So in the last 4 years, he overtook T.O. probably.
I'm gonna get called crazy for this. Fitz is one of those. For me, I don't rate him that high. When I think of top 5, top 10, he's not in it for me.
Do you? Think
and it's crazy.
He's so quiet and humble.
It could be.
Yeah.
I just never saw him as something special. Maybe because he didn't have the flashiness. Maybe
he's not in your face. And the thing is, like with Fitz,
and he wasn't plastered all over billboards and TV.
Well, Fitz had this role early on. Like he was like
he was
the
a
guy.
He was a slot.
Well, no, the started off. He was the number one guy.
Yeah.
And
he ended up taking
even when he was the guy, he wasn't in your face.
And that's
here's another thing.
And then Bruce Arians said, "Hey, look, we really don't." He's like, I don't think you're going to progress as being the guy.
Yeah.
I need you to be
the slot.
This guy because you can go across the middle and fuck with everybody.
Yeah.
And once he did that, once he made that transition to that slot, go across the middle guy, he fucked shit up because he's huge for a slot. When you think about a slot, you think about Julian Edelman.
Renfro.
Those smaller kind of quick guys. And then all of a sudden you see Larry Fitz running this fucking slant route,
all caked up.
And this
that guy had some cakes, bro, in his legs.
Yeah.
And this linebacker's like, oh fuck, Larry Fitz is coming.
Well, here's another thing. He let his loyalty tarnish his legacy,
exactly.
And it's happening to Damian Lillard right now.
Yes,
yes,
1,000,000%.
This loyalty that they get to these teams, he could have gone so many other places. He decided to when you think of the Cardinals, no one remembers them for anything back then. When you're not going to be remembered if he was never nationally. They have that one Super Bowl and that was it. Other than that, they went through Matt Leinart.
Did Fitz get a Super Bowl with Kurt Warner?
They played in that Super Bowl against.
But they lost, right? So Kurt Warner got a Super Bowl.
Hey, right? that's also a Super Bowl. Kurt Warner won one with the Rams, right?
The Rams, Rams, yeah.
But what I'm saying, I still believe the Cardinals. We all talk about the Saints blowing the lead against. Or not the Saints, the Falcons blowing the lead against the Patriots. Mm-hmm. The Cardinals blew that fucking game against the Steelers.
It was 21-7, right?
Yeah, some shit like that.
Yeah. Late into the game.
Like the Cardinals lost Fitzgerald and Kurt Warner.
They fell asleep. And they got super conservative.
They didn't win the game, they lost the game.
And they literally started playing to not lose. Instead of playing to win, they played to not lose.
Yeah.
Like coaches say, step on the throat. They just kind of put that bitch in cruise and just lean back, bro.
Autopilot, some Tesla autopilot and shit.
What brings me to something like a topic that I want to speak on too is like if you didn't watch these guys in their prime, you automatically like kids think or like they think the person is trash. Yeah. So say you just start watching the NFL now. To where you're starting to learn the NFL and you watch Big Ben, you're like, this guy's terrible. Big Ben is probably one of the best guys at reading defenses ever.
Absolutely.
And so, like with Jordan and Xavier, we were watching the game the other night, and
talking about our sons, by the way, for people that
sorry, we were watching the Warriors, and I was talking trash on Iggy. Because he had probably his worst game as a Warrior that I've seen. Yeah. And I'm just like, dude, if his legs aren't under him, get him out of the game. Because he's irritating me. Like,
what did Jordan say?
They were like, oh, yeah, they were just, they liked Jordan and Dave, they agree with anything I say. Oh, they're going to agree with us.
Gotcha.
So, like, yeah, this dude's so trash. And then I was like, hold on.
Yeah, now you're fucking up for the younger generation.
I had to put on Sixers highlights. And, like,
back when he was, back when it was AI and AI 2.0.
When he was in his prime, just... their jaws dropped. Like he was Vince Carter without being recognized as Vince Carter. Like he flew and
we've seen some sparks of that since he's been back with the Warriors too, a few times.
So it's just that thing where and started. I was thinking about it, like if you don't remember the guy in their prime.
Well, it's like if you watch Vince Carter now. Well, not now
but the last couple.
But when
he actually turned into a pretty good player towards the end of his career.
I know what I'm saying.
It's not Air.
It's not Air Canada. Like. You know what I mean? You see that guy and you're like, okay, good veteran, hit some mid-range, hit some threes.
He worked on his threes for sure.
Once in a while, he might dunk.
Like, this guy's a good role player.
You're like, okay, cool. Right. And then, like, you throw on, like, some Toronto fucking highlights and you're like, holy fuck, that's not the same guy.
No.
Well, because Vince Carter back in the day in Toronto, how many threes that man take?
Oh, yeah, none.
None, because he was too busy. Fucking driving, ruining dudes' careers. Like these dudes were ended up on posters back when kids bought posters
on the top of their heads and shit. Yeah. No, and Iguodala too. Like he was a starter for Golden State and took a bench role or to come off the sixth man to fucking utilize the strength around him and still won Finals MVP off the bench. Like that's saying some shit. So. I don't know.
Yeah, and that Finals MVP was kind of crazy. I mean,
I think Steph has been shafted a little bit.
Oh yeah, and that Finals. I mean, what LeBron did to him, like
you won
MVP because LeBron didn't average 50, he averaged 40. It was just that kind of crazy. But
people are saying that LeBron should have won MVP even as a loser.
That's happened before.
He had a great series.
He did.
As much as I hate the guy, he averaged like 40 and 15, and he averaged a triple double.
No, I agree.
I mean, we got to look at the stats on that because that was crazy. He had I can't. I'm not gonna say I hate him because I don't know the man. I can't stand LeBron.
Yeah, hates is strong.
He's in my top. He's one of those guys that I don't think is good because my dislike for him doesn't let me see how great he is. He's like Floyd Mayweather to me. Yeah, he's like he's in that category.
Speaking of Floyd Mayweather,
hold on.
You hear that motherfucker ain't paying his bills?
For the fifth time?
He owes $5 million to whatever Paul brother.
Logan Paul, yeah.
Owes $5 million.
He didn't play Logan fight one fight.
He didn't pay him.
He didn't pay him because the payout, the actual payout was $250 to fight, and then 10% of the pay-per-view, which totaled up to $5 million. And
Slimy bastard.
Logan just posted saying something about you.
He's a piece of shit. Yeah.
You weasel bastard or
weasel
something.
Bastard,
pay me up or something. Some shit like that.
It's been over 6 months.
I will say this about the Paul brothers: they pay. because they've paid Tyron Woodley right after the fight ended.
Yeah,
he got his $2 million. You know,
you paid him
when he takes a dive, bro.
Yeah,
both times. No, but so
that
the second time he got knocked out cold.
That was not a dive.
But no. I don't know. Did you see where he Jake Paul slaps his glove and then Woodley respond? Have you seen all the shit about that?
I've also seen actual boxing.
No, I'm just saying.
No, I've seen it, and then actual boxing coaches break down because everybody's like, he dropped his glove.
I don't know. I'm just asking.
No, I'm saying I'm just going. I'm telling you what I've seen.
Yeah.
So actual boxing coaches have been like, because everybody's like, that's the whole thing is when Jake does this thing,
and he twists his wrist. Yeah.
He does this little flick thing with his hand, and all of a sudden Woodley starts he dropped his hand a little bit. Oh, and then that's what everybody's reading off of as the cues, and then and then what happens is Jake, and this is what boxing coaches. I'm not a boxing coach, obviously, but boxing coaches have said what Jake did is he faked. He literally made a move like he was going body, and Woodley, not being a boxer, blocked incorrectly. Because if you're going to block a body shot, you don't just do this.
Yeah.
And that's what Woodley did. You should tuck a little bit so you can still protect this and your body. But Woodley, being tired and not a boxer, I'm not saying that Jake Paul's a fucking amazing boxer. He's fought non-boxers.
Bombs. He fought bombs when it comes... Yeah.
Fight a relevant boxer in your weight class, and if you knock him out like you did Woodley, then we can talk, Jake. Like for real.
I'll still get in the ring with them for some money.
Yeah, hey, bro, I'm getting in the ring with anybody for some money.
I'm just gonna say for how I was listening to Sean O'Malley, the UFC fighter, and he was saying, I love Sean O'Malley. He was saying that how good of a boxer he just started boxing
3 years ago, whatever it is.
Yeah, it's crazy. And
his comes in great.
In 3 years. His shape is great. Mm-hmm. And Tyron Woodley came in on 10 days notice. So he was out of shape. For Tyron Woodley, that was out of shape.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't think it was. I mean, it was. He set that up all fight. I thought he set it up all fight. You can kind of see he was setting it up.
So essentially, what the boxing coach said is that he faked a body shot, and then Woodley blocked incorrectly. And Jake, the whole time, Jake wasn't going for a body shot.
Yeah.
He was going for the fake body shot because he'd been hitting them with body shots all day.
Yeah.
And when he did that, he just circled that bitch over and just bow everything over the top.
That's crazy. Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, will we ever know if it was faked? Whatever.
But I mean, that makes sense. But what I was saying before all that is we had a discussion on Christmas Day about Chris Paul. Yeah, we were talking about LeBron and Mayweather and people. We fucking hate Chris Paul. The
podcast knows how we feel about Chris Paul.
I've yelled at this microphone so many times about Chris Paul and his legacy. He's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer. Top
5 point guard of all time.
Of all
True
time.
Point guard.
True.
And one can score. I'll say this, and I hate to admit this, but I had to admit it. Mm-hmm. He's a better point guard than Steph is. True point guard.
Yeah.
His defense is 10 times better.
Yeah.
On-ball defense is better. He's always been better.
Yeah.
His mid-range, don't get me wrong, Steph's the best shooter, probably one of the best scorers of all time.
Absolutely.
But he's not the truest point. If you look at the stats will tell you for themselves.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I mean, Chris Paul leads. He's the top leader in assists.
No,
that's what a point guard is.
I mean, what's he 38?
37 or 38, yeah.
And so he's still playing a high caliber.
He still plays at a high caliber.
Yeah, he's a great
still
player.
Elite.
But
great player,
legacy, terrible person. Him and LeBron, their legacies will always be tainted by their bullshit,
for different reasons.
Their fucking antics. LeBron is the flopping and crying for fouls that he doesn't get.
Chris Paul
is just a fucking weasel bastard.
He's dirty,
bitch.
He's dirty.
At least
he's a narcissist and he's dirty.
And from what we can see from the outside, LeBron as a person, I don't like him because he does whine a lot and that just pisses me off. I grew up with the fucking play the game. If the whistle didn't blow, get the fuck back and play your fucking defense. LeBron off the court as a person, from what you can see from the outside,
as far as we know, like you're saying,
is a fucking amazing person.
Amazing, yeah.
Chris Paul, on the other hand,
besides when he tries to dive into politics, he doesn't know. But
honestly, LeBron, I at this point, I swear this motherfucker just
the guy doesn't even have a college education.
Motherfucker just says shit.
He's never taken a college class.
Why would you? Making that kind of money?
Exactly. So it's he just says stuff because he's so influential.
Oh yeah, because he thinks he can sway fucking everything. But so Chris Paul is, at this point in time, third in assists.
Yeah. Damn. Who's first, second?
John
Stockton's first, obviously, and then J. Kidd is the...
Yeah. Wait.
And he's a better defender than both those guys. Chris Paul is a top...
So Chris Paul...
Well, Gary Payton said the only person he hated guarding was John Stockton. Because John Stockton would not give him what he wanted. He wouldn't talk shit. And that's... I see so many... So many defenders have said that they... The wide receiver they loved the most and hated the most playing against was Fitzgerald. Because Fitzgerald would fucking wreck you, but he would never say shit.
No emotion.
Yep. Just crazy.
I didn't realize this, and this is wild. LeBron is 8th all-time for assists.
Yeah.
8th.
When I say...
Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double, is 12th. This guy that you think that never passes the fucking ball?
No, he has to pass at least 10 times a game.
I'll say this, and you were saying, we said he stat pads.
Mm-hmm.
But what did he... I mean, was it 50 triple-doubles in a season?
I think more than that, was it?
He averaged a triple-double. Yes, you can be a stat padder, but why are other guys doing that?
Yeah.
So he's obviously does it at an elite level. Yeah. So he's an elite stat padder.
Yeah, exactly. Yelling at the bigs. They just... Everybody's run back, and it's just him and the big going up, and he's like, fuck off. Oh, my bad.
I mean, if you put a big next to him, honestly, if you're a no-name big and Russell's like, hey, bro, I'm going to need this rebound.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
You can have that fucking, you know what I mean? But if you're like
stat pattern,
if you're like Jokic, if him and Jokic were on the same
Jokic
team,
would shut his shit down.
That's what I'm saying.
Jokic would fight him on the court.
His brothers are crazy too.
We've talked about that.
The mafioso. We had a whole discussion about.
What I'm saying is
they had their own Twitter, right?
How they did like the
with
Jokic
no profile
bros.
picture. That's when you know they're crazy.
Sorry, go ahead, Mike. Big. Revisit what we talked about on the podcast on his brothers.
Oh, we talked about his brothers because him. Obviously, there's.
It was when he got in the fight.
Who
did he get in the fight with?
The Heat.
Who was it?
It was one of the Morris brothers.
Yeah, Montez, right?
One of the twins.
Yeah, one of the twins. Okay.
But there's like 4.
And they're about it too, but they're not Serbia about it.
No, they're not.
Well,
fucking Russian mafia. They're Serbian mafia.
With the Jokic brothers, there's like 4 of them.
Yes.
And 3 of them still play ball. Whether it's internationally or whatever.
Yeah.
And then you got the one motherfucker.
With the leather jacket, the tattoos.
The picture I saw of this motherfucker, I was like, hey, bro. Like, this is the type of dude that, like, he just, like, he looks at you, you say some shit, he just makes a phone call.
Yeah.
He's like, and he starts talking in fucking Serbian, and you're just like, you start looking at all the homies like, hey, bro, we got to just get in the car. Like, that's one of the things, like.
You can tell.
Like, he's about that action, boss.
They're all Jokic's. Nikola, he's about that guy's crazy.
He
like,
don't give a fuck.
He snaps. Like he'll break somebody's like. They say he has bad anger issues. Like he snaps on the court.
His brother, the one you were talking about, was arrested for allegedly choking a woman. Like.
That's the one I'm talking about.
The picture they posted from the stands.
Yeah.
When they were waiting, like they told the Miami Heat to meet him backstage was crazy. Like,
and then the Twitter feed that came up.
The Twitter feed was hilarious. Probably the funniest Twitter feed I've ever seen.
Dude, oh my God, they're some Serbian gangsters for sure.
Yeah.
But back to the assist leaders. So top 25, Curry's not on it. So back to your point that he's not a true.
You can't argue with a true NBA fan.
Especially because, like, I mean, let's put it this way: Rajon Rondo's on this list.
Yeah.
He's a better point guard.
You think?
Yeah. Not a better scorer.
What about Isaiah Thomas? What about Isaiah
speaking of Rajon Rondo, I don't know if anybody heard. Cleveland is trying to trade for Rajon Rondo right now.
What the fuck?
With no player coming from Cleveland back to LA.
Really? Hey, they play off Rondo.
Cleveland is trying
Rondo's
to.
a dirty fucker. Too.
Cleveland,
he's kind of like Chris.
Cleveland is willing right now, from what I've read, and it's actually from Woj.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's like an actual credible.
Yeah. Woj ball.
Well, did he send it off and ask Cleveland to remaster it for him?
So what they're going to do is they want to cut somebody from the bottom of their roster or whatever, and they're going to send at least a second-round pick and cash back to LA, and Cleveland will cover all of Rondo's contract. So LA gets to just wipe that from there.
Speaking of Cleveland, you guys know they're a 5th seed right now?
No. Yeah, they just over here doing their thing.
They're 22-13.
Quietly.
And I also read, and this I don't know if this is corroborated or not. I read something that there's been some murmurs underneath that LeBron wants to go back to Cleveland.
Oh my God!
Because he sees the young core, and this obviously it's hearsay.
It's probably true though. Look, fuck you, LeBron.
He's always making it about himself.
He got his movie shit out the way in L.A.
Yeah. So literally,
we grab me one.
Yeah.
I saw. Yeah, but you can grab another one.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go ahead. But I legit. There's something that says that he's done with L.A. and he wants to go back to Cleveland because he sees the young core.
No, it's because L.A.'s not winning.
And then someone popped off in the comments and said,
another one?
No, I just
sorry, we're having our drink break real fast.
But
you know, we get fucked up in the podcast.
So someone popped off and said, "Really? Because this man just scored 30+ in the last 6 games. Like he's given up on LA." Yeah. And so
what's he like? Last 6 games, he's averaging like 30 and 10.
Yeah, like
that,
so.
But the team around him isn't doing as well as he wants.
Well, AD is the biggest like.
I mean, we've talked about this personally. Like 80 is soft.
He's soft. He's mentally. He picks when when he's feeling it for the day, he wants to come out unstoppable.
Yeah.
But something goes on in his personal life where he comes out and he's like, I'm not playing.
Yeah.
I'm hurt.
Like Kyrie.
I'm hurt. Well, Kyrie has
mental health is
that and his vaccination thing. Like I'm not. It's kind of crazy that you would give up millions of dollars for that.
Well, he stands on his word.
I respect that.
What's Cole Beasley's? I saw something the other day.
100K.
He's at over 100K in just fines.
Yeah. And if I was making that, that's how I would have.
And we've talked about it where it's like the difference is I can't stand, like, honestly, if my job came to me and said, look, vaccinated or you get a paycheck or you don't get your paycheck. I don't have the money.
I already went through this.
I don't have the money to stand on my morals and be like.
And that's what happened. That's what happened with me.
Because they'd be like, all right, you know what? I need that paycheck.
Yeah.
The difference is Cole Beasley can stand on his morals and be like, look.
Yeah, would he stand on those morals as a regular Joe? You know,
that's
something we don't know. But speaking of like Kyrie and his
mental health.
Oh no, I was just saying the problem is
you're right.
You can never know because I know right now if my job said, hey bro, you got to get vaccinated or you done. Guess who's going to be in line getting vaccinated?
Yeah.
Because I got kids, I got a wife, I got family. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate.
But mental health, we've discussed a million times in the podcast. Mental health is a real issue.
100%.
And we've all lost people. All of us in this room have lost people with mental health. Some more than others, you know. But so Kyrie, I don't fault him for having mental health issues, but the way he goes about
some of his stuff, is a little diva-ish.
Yeah.
And you know that. Speaking of like Kyrie and all that, that was KD's fault for trusting. Yeah, I'm gonna go to Brooklyn because we're gonna build a big 3 over there. You really put your trust into Kyrie?
Yeah,
you should have went to the Knicks. Like you messed up.
Yeah,
and now when you're looking for a way out, I don't feel bad for you when you start looking for a way out because you didn't have to go over there.
Yeah,
you chose to go. You paired up with a guy who's unstable, and who you knew was unstable.
Yeah. And that's before Harden was even there, huh?
Yes,
it was just those two.
They had to go and pluck Harden because Kyrie wasn't showing up.
Everybody thought, with those 3, they're going to do big things. I'm like, no, they're all ball hogs. Mm-hmm. Not ball hogs, but
I mean, Kyrie did practice yesterday, so
yeah, he's going to play.
Yeah,
but he can't play.
I don't see them winning a championship.
He can only play away games.
Yeah, they're allowing him to play road games.
Road games only. So what? So say they make it to the finals.
He's going to only play 2 games.
He can't play when they go home, where they need them the most, where they got home court advantage. I hope the Warriors play them if the Warriors make it.
Yeah.
Cool. Like, let's play them because...
Well, I mean, you have home court advantage, so he's going to be the away court advantage.
Yeah.
He's going to even it out.
Well, what's funny is, like, San Francisco forced Andrew Wiggins to get a vaccine, but away players can come to San Francisco and not have...
Right.
How does that make sense?
Yeah.
Where's the logic behind that?
Well, so when we went to the Kane Brown concert, right?
Yeah.
I brought this up.
Yeah, down Sacramento.
We had to be either vaccinated or have our test results.
Uh-huh.
Kane was in Sacramento on a Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
No, it was Friday. Right?
It was Friday.
He was playing in LA on Saturday. On the website that said, you looked at the tickets.
Yeah.
For our Friday night, it said there was COVID protocols, vaccine or test.
Results.
In LA, there wasn't any.
It depends on the area.
Well, it also
but what I'm saying
depends
is
on the venue.
LA
Yeah.
is how many times bigger than Sacramento?
It depends. Population probably about 500,000 more.
Yeah,
it's the venue's choice, though.
No, well,
but they were both NBA stadiums.
Yes,
so it falls under the NBA protocol, which that's what was my argument.
And it's also the artist protocol too. So the stadium can say, or the arena can say, we need this, and this, and the artist can say, well, no, I want them to be masked up too, and whatever. It's the artist as well.
But what you're saying is the stadium sets a minimum, and then the artist can ask for more. The artist can't ask for less.
My thing is like.
Yeah.
You had to be vaccinated, yada, yada, this, that, and third. But Kane Brown is on stage grabbing people's phones, taking selfies, grabbing shirts, signing them, which is great, But the shit is crazy. But that drops us right into the NFL, NBA COVID shit that I want to talk about.
Well, that's what I'm saying, because obviously...
Well, it's tying into that. Nowhere has strict...
Oh,
they're
exactly.
Everyone picks which COVID rules they want.
Absolutely.
What does it match to their standards?
Yeah. How does it
change? Oh, is there more money? Let's reverse it. Yeah. The funniest one is restaurants. You have to wear a mask to get in, but you don't wear it while you're sitting there eating, and your mouth's open and spitting all over the place while you're eating a burger.
Yeah.
How does that make any sense?
It doesn't. It really doesn't. This whole COVID.
No, it doesn't. It's just
this whole COVID shit's ridiculous. Yeah.
And I took it. I didn't take it not serious because I knew people were dying from it. I saw it firsthand. When I got it...
Yeah, you were an EMT at the time, weren't you?
No, I was a cop at the time.
Okay, cop. But you were an EMT before that, okay.
Yeah, so... When I got it, the bad thing for me was severe...
And you just got it
I got it in November. I had severe muscle... It brought out my sciatic nerve pain bad. Like, that was miserable. Everything else was fine until the 7th day. I walked upstairs and I was like, I have gained some weight, but I shouldn't be out of shape from walking upstairs. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah.
So I went and got an x-ray. I had pneumonia with the COVID. So that made it worse.
Yeah.
Like, I literally couldn't breathe. Like, my stats were dropping, and if I didn't go in time, I probably would have possibly ended up on a ventilator.
Which probably...
So I want to know, I don't want it again, but I would like to know what was it like without the pneumonia. Because the pneumonia messed me up. It got really thick. Yeah. I'm still coughing. I'm not sick no more, but I have a persistent cough that wakes me up every night at the same time at 4 a.m.
Damn.
It wakes me up at the same time. It'll wake me up out of my sleep. I can't breathe. I have to sit up. Then I go back to bed.
Yeah, so that's just crazy.
But, I'm not saying it's not real. It obviously is real.
Yeah, yeah.
But the guidelines and the rules and what they're making, especially forcing you to get vaccinated for a job. I'll go on air saying that that's the most ridiculous thing.
I agree.
Oh, we've
gone
on
about it.
Like that's infringing on your rights.
Yeah,
100%.
It's against our civil rights.
Why don't?
It's illegal.
So here's the thing too, and we were talking about like how, you're gonna drug test me for weed, but you're not gonna drug test me for alcohol. They're both legal. Why do you want why do I need a vaccine to get in here, but you don't want to see my flu shot? Mm-hmm. Why the flu kills more than COVID does?
Well, and the flu shot is a shot that helps you not get the flu. The COVID shot, you still get COVID.
I mean, with the flu, and this is my argument. So everybody argues, since we're on it, everybody argues.
I know this is. We usually don't do this on podcast. We don't talk about this,
but everybody argues.
Let's fucking get into it.
You're not getting fucking. How many vaccines do we have when we're kids? To not get polio, to not get all these other shit.
Tuberculosis.
But okay, the thing is, with the polio vaccine, can you get polio?
No.
Not really.
Yeah.
Like the window for you to get polio is fucking after you have the vaccine is fucking. Well, you gotta feed
slim to none.
You gotta feed a fucking needle through that fucking window.
Yeah.
You get a flu vaccine. You still get the flu, right?
Yeah.
Is it less? Instead of being 100%, you have a chance to get the flu. It's like 50. Mm-hmm. I personally don't get the flu shot because I don't normally get. I literally as soon as I 16, because 16 is when you can make medical decisions or whatever. Mm-hmm. Haven't had the flu shot. I'm 30.
Yeah.
Had the flu one time in all those years.
Mm-hmm. I get 3 days. Maybe one time a year.
Lasted me 3 days in, what's that? 14 years. I'll take 3 days out of 14 years. Yeah. Right? So that math to me is fine. Mm-hmm. So the COVID vaccine, quotes.
The vaccine is supposed to prevent.
Yeah, exactly. So
a flu shot is to try to help you not get it.
So people's argument
this should be called a vaccine shot,
Or
not
just a COVID shot.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's what I meant. It should be called a COVID shot, not a fucking vaccine.
Because to me, like, I can't get polio in my mind.
Yeah.
But if I get a flu shot, I can
still get in my mind.
You know what I mean? Because there's still a slim percentage that you get polio. Yeah. But the number is so minuscule that it's
ridiculous. Why you don't have cases of polio breaking out.
Well, I'm not the smartest when it comes to vaccines, right? But chickenpox, right? Mm-hmm. Do you get them after you have that vaccine?
I don't know. I had chickenpox as a kid.
I had them once and I got my vaccine. I've never had them again.
Yeah, well, I don't think you get chickenpox vaccine, do you?
You do.
Yeah.
Now there's a chickenpox vaccine.
Okay, so
it's one of those things
you don't get it.
You don't get it
because the whole thing is when I was a kid.
It's one of those things where you can either get it or don't.
It's MMR or rubella.
It's
one of those.
I had it as a kid, which means I'll never get it again.
It's like
so if you say I'm 36, say I never had chickenpox,
you can get shingles
or the vaccine or whatnot.
Yeah,
and if I get it now, it could kill me.
Oh yeah, it's it's called like shingles as you get older too. Instead of
that's shingles is different.
No, it's the same. It's the same thing. Look it up.
Really,
it's the same virus.
I thought it was slightly different. I thought it was
it's like the same virus. And so like as someone who's had chickenpox or had the vaccine, your chance of getting shingles is way down because they're like this almost like there's literally like barely a chemical difference.
Gotcha. Either way, we're not physicians, we're not doctors, we're not telling you to take our advice and run with it. This is strictly opinions. Yeah.
So my big point is if I get if they were like, hey, look, get the COVID vaccine. You'll never have COVID in your life.
Absolutely.
If they can guarantee that, yeah,
it would have been. It wouldn't have been.
I'll sign that dotted line.
Yeah, do it. It wouldn't. I wouldn't have had to be forced to do it.
But when I got friends who have the vaccine and they're still getting COVID,
honestly, right now, I have seen in my personal life more people with the vaccine getting COVID than people without the vaccine.
Yeah. And I'm vaccinated because I had to. Because either that or I lose.
If you want to get vaccinated.
Yeah,
I'll give you. We can still be best friends. Like, you know what I mean? We can still be best friends, hang out. I don't give a fuck.
That's my other point. Why, I'm not against. Okay, maybe I'm against them, right? But for my own opinion. Yeah. But if you want to get them, that's completely fine. But why is a vaxxer mad when I don't get it?
Exactly. Like, right? If you're vaccinated, you should be able to. Should be able to get it, right? Just like if I'm not wearing a mask before vaccination and you're wearing a mask, why are you yelling at me to put a fucking mask on?
So I'm not going to go on air and throw, we got names, but family members that we went to their house, we got a warning that we were going to need to wear masks because we weren't vaccinated. They were. So you told me that the vaccine that you put in your body doesn't work. That's what you're telling me.
Yeah.
So why, if you're vaccinated, why do I got to wear a mask?
Yeah, that's
so did you waste your time getting a vaccine that doesn't work?
Because it's not. Because back to my point, it's not a vaccine. It's just a flu shot.
It's a flu shot. Absolutely. But it goes back into what we talked about earlier today when I messaged you and said, "Hey, I want to discuss this on the podcast." The NFL and the NBA were very adamant before the season started and when the season started that if players of any team couldn't play because of people, their players having COVID
protocol
and all the shit, protocol, that it would be a forfeiture. That's it. It'd be a forfeiture.
So
there'd be fines. So say I'm a Cowboys fan, you're a Raiders fan. Mm-hmm. Say my Cowboys players most of them didn't want to get vaccinated. We have a game against you, say Thanksgiving we played you guys, right? Mm-hmm. Oh shit. Most of the Cowboys players are out. They can't play the game. Well, boom. Automatic W for you.
If
you guys
they're
won.
Unvaccinated, correct?
Was it?
Yeah, so
was
at
it
least
unvaxxed?
I can't speak for the NFL or the NBA because I don't remember hearing an Adam Silver.
Draymond spoke on it though.
I know, but I don't remember. I do.
Another Draymond win.
Yeah.
I do.
But dubs.
Yeah,
I do remember Roger Goodell specifically came out and said, if you have.
Did he come out the closet finally? Oh, my bad.
Well, Gruden said he did.
That's
fired for it. Well, his brother is.
Hey, pew, pew, pew.
His brother is.
Oh, well, maybe it runs a family.
That's why he was mad. We're just flying all over the place.
Hold on, let's finish the COVID thing first. Okay. But no, go ahead. Fuck that.
I have buddies that I used to listen on Twitter with, a lot of African Americans.
Yes.
And they were like, you know what the funny thing was? It wasn't the racist comments that got him fired.
No,
it was the gay comments.
The homosexual. And there was other people. So you can call a black person some racist stuff.
Yeah.
And that's why it just goes to show how America is. Mm-hmm. Oh, racism? We're cool with that.
Yeah.
Say something about the alphabet. Say something about the alphabet
some
group.
Kind of gender? Yeah.
Something about the alphabet group. You're done.
Dig up that man's emails from 11 years ago.
You're done. Yeah. You could say, all these racist shit. No, you're good. Still coach Sunday. Mm-hmm. Oh, he said something homophobic. Fire him.
Dude, America's 100% still racist.
1 million.
Blatantly in your face.
But they're pro-gay. They're pro all that.
Yeah.
America definitely is still racist. Mm-hmm. But they are pro pick your fucking poison, pick your sexuality, all that stuff. Which, that's fine too. But why can't we be both? Why can't we be pro different races? You know what I'm saying? Anti-racism.
Yeah.
Anti-homophobia. Why do we have to be one and not the other, I've got gay friends, I've got black friends and family and Mexican and every other race. But why do different races still get treated differently than, homosexuals?
100%.
It's crazy. And mind you, like I said,
because you're hurting feelings.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
and
nuts.
People, the racism, there's no feelings in that.
Yeah, exactly. There's years of it. But what were you saying, Mike, about the COVID protocol? About
Goodell. You talked about Goodell coming out.
Yeah, Goodell had. I remember watching part of his thing where he literally said, if a team ends up having so many people on protocol because of unvaccination,
that's what I thought it was. Yeah.
Then they would have to. It would be a forfeiture. And so I don't know if that was his loophole, because a lot of these teams, NBA, NFL, most of these guys have decided to get vaccinated because of...
Yeah, what is the NBA? 97% vaccinated?
That's the number they put out.
That's what they say, yeah.
And the NFL is probably...
So why do they have the most outbreaks?
It goes back to how I said, personally in my life, the people I know that are vaccinated, the most people are those ones getting it.
Correct. And a lot of people actually saw one argument. So the NBA is 97% vaccinated is what they have told us. Yet they have the biggest COVID outbreaks, they say, because the games are indoors.
Nothing makes sense.
So what you're saying is COVID doesn't exist outdoors?
Right? This shit's just crazy. I don't know.
I'm tired of it, and so is the CDC. They said, our vaccine doesn't work, so...
95.
Just so now if you get it and you have no symptoms, you're clear in 24 hours. Go on with your life. That's what the rules are now.
That's fucking so wild, bro. I'm just
because they can't. Shit. There's no, and everyone is.
And the NFL is at a 94.6 as of December.
So 15th. Check this out. Like you said, now if you get it 24 hours to go on with your life, sooner or later it's going to be now you have it to go on with your life. Blah blah. Hey, it's the common cold or
just
flu.
Like everything else.
Yeah.
I was driving in Lodi today, or 2 days ago. I went to go pick up a cake, birthday cake.
Yeah.
And I'm driving on one of the streets, and there's a park, and here's the park, here's the entrance. Probably about 150 cars, and I'm like, oh shoot, there was an accident or something. What's going on here? It's 8 a.m. Drive by, free COVID test sign.
Oh my god.
150 cars, bro.
Damn.
For the Omicron that's going around spreading quick, because I've already talked to a bunch of people that are out with COVID right now. So we went to that that jump place. Mm-hmm. So, and that place was packed indoors, and I was like,
much kids sneezing and coughing everywhere.
Well, did you guys see that the other day? I think it was the Packers game. 6 feet apart, doing the interview, right?
Yeah.
I think it was Rodgers and the female. Mm-hmm. Literally, interview ended. They hug.
Yeah.
Is he still unvaccinated?
No, he got his holistic vaccination. Don't worry about him. He's good.
Hey, you know what's funny? When I was researching for the podcast. I'm trying to look it up.
But my point is.
But hold on. He said that now doctors coming to him, or the NFL's coming to him, trying to get his opinion for his holistic shit.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, my thing is, so I think it was. I swear it was a Chris. I think it.
Hold on. Aaron Rodgers says NFL teams recommending his COVID med regimen to treat players. Hey, he was on something.
Hey, honestly, if he found
well, it's like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan found some shit.
He was taking the horse.
Horse cock right to the. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Is that why he's all jacked? And lost all his hair?
Ivermectin, is that what you're talking about?
Something that has to do with a horse.
Ivermectin is...
That's what Aaron Rodgers took. Ivermectin and
Yeah, so ivermectin is in a lot of It's a medicine, but it's in a lot of like for cows, horses, a lot of that livestock. It's like in like they take different pastes and stuff. Literally, like livestock places, even here in town, were complaining. Like people with like livestock were complaining because people were buying it up, and so it'd be like a paste that tastes like apples that you would like put in your horse's mouth and squeeze it in there to like get the medicine. And like people in our town were taking it.
What, for the horses and the cattle, was it to keep them?
Yeah,
it's been a medicine that they've been taking for years.
For what though?
I don't know. I don't know exactly.
I don't really speak on things I don't know. So I just knew it had to do with a horse. I remember because I saw it said not anti-vaxxers but vaxxers were raging at Joe Rogan for horse medicine or something like that.
Yeah, so I don't know exactly why they give it to the livestock, but the drug the medicine is called ivermectin, I believe.
Well, it's going to be stronger for a human anyways because it's for a horse.
Yeah, horses, all the muscle mass and their weight.
Those things are ripped.
Yeah, horses are crazy.
They used to be, the cars before cars.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or get work done and stuff, and now everyone's got quads.
Tractors, cars, everything. Everything.
Yeah.
But I did want to boast a little bit, being a Cowboys fan. Mm-hmm. And we blew out the Washington football team. Destroyed.
Absolute massacre on live TV.
But I get that Washington was down with players for COVID and injuries and this, that, and third. But with all that being said, we looked like a whole unit on all three,
that game,
parts of it.
Yeah, definitely.
So it was nice, and everybody, all the analysts saying that Dak was in a slump or is in a slump, which he still might be. I don't know. But he played like a whole fucking unit himself.
Hey, Cooper Rush wins that game if you start with QB.
Yeah.
So dead ass. Cooper Rush wins that game. Yeah,
but that doesn't take anything away.
Oh, no.
But it's gonna be, it would be a lot closer.
That's what I was going to say. It wouldn't have been as lopsided. But dead ass, Cooper Rush could have won that game.
There was a ball. So here's the thing. I have Dak and CD in fantasy, so I watched every Dak game this year.
Yeah.
He threw a ball in that game to Amari on the sideline that Amari dropped. And I was like, whoa.
Oh, right, when he couldn't get his other foot down and bounce? Yeah.
On the left side of the field, probably about a 40-yard bomb.
He went up.
He threw balls against the Raiders he threw for 400 yards that game. Like, Dak is a top 10 quarterback, and it's not just because he carried me in fantasy, even though I lost in the semifinals. I have a soft spot for Dak. He's probably one of my favorite quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And when he puts it all together, he's coming back from the ankle injury, his brother committing suicide. He's got a lot on his mind.
And the calf injury he experienced on Thanksgiving.
But when he's on,
yeah.
That guy. So I was trying to tell Raider fans that are big car stands. I can't stand car stands.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not a car stand. He is inconsistent. Derek Carr. He's inconsistent.
And this is coming from probably, if you guys are listening, probably the biggest Raiders fan I've ever met in my life.
As much as I say that I'm done and I'm not a Raider fan, I'm probably I love the Raiders more.
But how Raider is that right there? that comment right there. I'm done. That's your
not following them to Vegas.
Yep, that's the Raiders fan. The epitome of a Raiders fan.
So here's the thing. That game against the Cowboys on Thanksgiving, I was trying to tell buddies of mine that were like, "Oh, Derek Carr's on fire." I said, "Look at Dak's deep ball and look at Carr's. They're completely different deep balls. One leads their receiver, the other one doesn't. Dak can throw and lead his receiver like no other. Derek, every time he throws a deep ball, the receiver has to turn. There were so many times Henry Ruggs had to stop and turn and come back to the ball. Derek is
gets tackled on the 5 or the 2.
Yeah. And if he would just lead him, it would be so many more points. And then there's games where you see Derek Carr and you're just like, whoa, this guy's a stud.
Yeah.
And then I can always tell what type of game it's going to be on the first drive.
You said that.
Because I've known this. I've been the guy's been the quarterback for 9 years.
Yeah, 8 years. Had season tickets to the games.
Yeah, so I've been watching. I've studied this guy. Like, it's time for him to. It doesn't matter what happens this year. I don't even think we make the playoffs because I don't think we're going to beat the Colts this weekend.
Yeah.
But it's time for them to, like we were talking about coaches.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter how good they are. At some point, they hit a peak.
Yeah, they start breaking down.
That marriage with the Raiders for both parties needs to separate.
Yeah. Well, we talked last podcast, so not last week because we took it off because of Christmas.
Yeah.
Week before, there was reports that the Raiders had thought about benching Carr
starting Mariota
for the rest of the year.
Yeah.
And letting Mariota start because they were ready to move on because Carr's owed a huge bonus or something this offseason.
And that's not Mark Davis. Mark Davis has to make that fucking call.
And he's not. He won't.
Yeah, so
he loves John Gruden and he loves Carr.
And he's comfortable. He's comfortable.
He was like, Mark Davis was like, whew. Thankfully, those emails, he wanted Gruden gone, but he never would have done it.
Really? You think he did?
From a football standpoint, I think at some point he'd have been like, I got this $1 billion stadium and it's not panning out.
Yeah.
We're not winning games. I'm going to lose. He would. Doesn't matter how close you are to someone. When your money and your ass is on the line, but as a person, he loves John Gruden.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you know Al Davis was probably rolling in his grave when he gave that man $10 million, $100 million. For a 500, a coach that barely breaks 500.
And that's why he didn't fire him, and then told him, "Hey, resign, so I'm still on the hook to pay you."
And he was like, he was happy about it. And that's the same thing with Carr. He's not going to bench Carr. And I told the reason why Rich Biatch is not going to, because he knows he's gone.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm not going to stir up a bunch of stuff. I'm here for the next couple games, and I'm out of here.
If my name's attached to drama, I don't get a job somewhere else.
Exactly. Yeah. If he was fighting for the playoffs, say we were like 10-5, right? 10-4.
Yeah.
And it seemed like we can make it, and they're losing games, then he's going to make that change.
Yeah.
But knowing that he's gone in the offseason, he's not going to make that change. He wants to just ride it out. And I think Mariota's due incentives if he plays a certain amount of time also.
And isn't Mariota's contract up after this year?
Yeah, he's a free agent. So what do they... By playing him, they don't... What should have happened in the offseason, because there was multiple reports that John Gruden, does he like Carr, does he not? He should have traded Carr in the offseason when the value was there.
I mean, he fucking traded Khalil Mack.
Right?
The fuck was that about?
Carr should have been traded.
What in your opinion, what was that about?
Him being racist and his ego.
You think so?
So if you look back at John, here's my thing. You're gonna get me on John Gruden now.
We don't have to.
No. If we got time, he's been butting heads
with
Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah.
Didn't Keyshawn come out in his defense though?
At some point he did, but they always.
Recently, yeah.
Here's the thing about
that's what I'm saying. Recently. When the emails came out, I think Keyshawn was one of the big guys that said.
But everywhere he goes, Jerry Porter, when he was with the Raiders the first night, Charles Woodson wanted to leave the Raiders.
Yeah, and Charles Woodson's not that guy.
He doesn't like...
So loyal.
So here's John Gruden. He treats people like Urban Meyer. He treats these guys like they're kids. And if you don't agree, you're on the back burner. And if you don't go... So Khalil Mack wasn't reporting to training camp. Mm-hmm. That right there was like, no, I'm good. John Gruden is he chooses who he wants to be racist to.
Gotcha.
Was my big thing about him. And multiple players have come out.
Did you feel this before?
Way before.
Okay.
Way before, because he started with Amari Cooper.
So you thought he was racist before the emails?
100%.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
He did it with Amari Cooper.
Mm-hmm.
He did it. Certain players just didn't play his shit.
Yeah.
He favored certain players.
So real quick question. Was it racism?
Yeah.
Or was it just Urban Meyer type shit where he...
Half and half.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's obviously come out as some racist comments. So where there's smoke, there's fire. So he has said some stuff that rubs guys the wrong way, and there's multiple guys that read past his stuff.
Yeah.
Khalil Mack was one of them. You see the guys that read past his stuff are gone.
You just shipped him out.
You don't just ship out a generational talent.
Yeah, defensive rookie of the year.
You pay those guys. Yeah. You can pay those guys.
Yeah, you're right.
And you just don't ship those guys out. You don't ship Amari Cooper. You don't ship these guys out.
Yeah.
Marquette King, he pushed him out. And it's guys that don't mesh with...
And they speak on their own. They speak for themselves.
100%. And there was multiple guys in that locker room, Nelson Aguilar, that said there's some stuff being thrown around in this locker that I won't stand for.
Damn.
And so he had always been like that.
That
was my thing with John Gruden. I was actually glad those emails came out. Glad. Yeah. Because he would have finished out that contract.
Yeah.
We had another 6 years.
Yeah, I was saying he was 4 years to do it.
He's a terrible coach. He's still coaching like it's the 90s. This run first, where he uses his fullback. And don't get me wrong, Alec Ingles a beast.
Yeah,
but the way we shouldn't be thrown to a fullback on 3rd and 3. Like absolutely not.
I mean, if he gets the job done.
Yeah, but it wasn't.
It wasn't.
We have Darren Waller and Foster Moreau. He was featuring a 40-year-old Jason Witten.
Yeah, that shit. Then when Witten signed with you guys, I'm like, okay, there's a legend, a veteran in the locker room to teach. And then when they started him I was like, what the fuck,
dude? Like, they're throwing screens to him.
Yeah, that shit. I was confused.
Here's another one.
It wasn't like DeMarcus Ware left the Cowboys, went to the Broncos. Like, oh, it's a veteran. Why they played him? No, Ware was a beast.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
Check this out. We draft Josh Jacobs in the first round.
Yeah.
You give Kenyon Drake $11 million as a backup. They got into it in the locker room per reports.
Jacobs and...
No, Kenyon Drake and John Gruden.
Okay.
Kenyon Drake doesn't do anything for the first 5 weeks. You paid him $11 million. You signed Peyton Barber off the street, and you're giving him more snaps.
Yeah.
John Gruden leaves. What does Kenyon Drake do? He had that explosive game, I think, against Denver, where he runs a wheel route and scores like a 50-yard touchdown.
And Josh Jacobs hasn't really lived up to his shit recently.
That guy's irritating me too. Like the whole thing with all you hear about, his 9 kids, whether that's facts.
I know it's not.
I know it's not, but
no. So the funny thing is, we addressed that like in the podcast, and then I was like, well, let me research while we're in the middle of podcasting, and I'm like, shit. It was faulty that he came out and spoke on it about, and we didn't delete, we didn't restart the podcast.
No.
Like, hey,
so
I fucked up. I didn't do my research.
That might be faulty.
Oh,
might. This is not. I have friends, and I'm not trying to throw these guys under the bus, that had actually broken the Henry Ruggs report before it even came out.
Okay. That
know people from Vegas. The night Josh Jacobs got a DUI in Vegas 2 years ago, he had found out that he knocked up a prostitute, an escort.
Shit.
He knocked up an escort. From reports, he's mentally unstable. And you're not in Raiders Twitter, you're a Cowboy fan, right?
Yeah.
All he does is beef with fans on Twitter. He will go after Raider fans on Twitter, and it's to the point where they're like, oh, you have more Twitter arguments than you have yards per carry.
Yeah.
And so, John, if he didn't rush for 130 yards last week against Denver, he was on the hot seat. When he fumbled in the first half, they were like, dude, this dude.
We were driving home from your house, listening to the game on XM radio. It was,
Well, here's the thing.
I was driving, I almost got slapped driving from, vaccine.
He didn't play much at Bama.
Yeah.
He wasn't a workhorse there. He was like their third down back. So when you drafted him, you're like, oh, this guy can take some workload. He just can't. He's injured. Every play he has to come off.
Yeah.
And he spends more time on social media than he does on the field. And you would think that for a guy who grew up sleeping on the floor.
Yeah, no bed and shit.
Who was supposed to be. The guy who's really humble is Najee Harris.
Yes, Najee from EPA.
Najee is Harris. Najee is humble.
Palo Alto.
Josh Jacobs is not.
He's Marshawn's little protege.
Mm-hmm. And he grew up in Antioch in a foster home.
Yeah, and he also ended up sleeping in the gym at his high school.
Yeah.
With his coaches, his strength coaches.
And you don't hear nothing. He just grinds.
That's all he does. And he went to Ohio to play for the Buckeyes. And every off day, he flew back to Oakland or PA. He flew back. He was so homesick, he almost left. Mm-hmm. His mom told him that he had to stay. I watched that whole documentary, bro. No, Najee.
You don't see him on Instagram flashing chains and
I was telling people about Najee before he got drafted. Like he's a beast. He's a real one. And he's a big dude. He's like 6'1", isn't he? For a running back.
Big.
He's
big. He's a horse.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Oh yeah, those Bama guys are big. Like what? Trent Richardson, Mark Ingram.
Didn't he play for the Buckeyes?
Who?
Najee?
No, Alabama.
Did he play Bama? Okay, I knew it was somewhere over there. Okay.
Yeah, Bama, because he was the one. Josh Jacobs.
Because Bama's just all. I mean, Nick Saban.
They're powerhouse. Yeah.
Nick Saban gets away with that old school power ball.
They're what are they feeding them though? Like they're just big.
What was that? The horse?
Ivermectin.
Ivermectin.
Is that what it is? Okay, yeah, it makes sense. But no, back to
Mac Jones.
Yeah,
he's Bama, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And back to the John Gruden thing. Okay, I don't want to be, tarnishing the guy's. He's already tarnished. I didn't have to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a full-on racist, but he has. You can obviously tell he says things to certain players.
He's old school, yeah.
That doesn't, and I don't even know if it's old school because Pete Carroll's old school.
Yeah, you're right.
I think it's just narcissism and egotistical stuff that he couldn't. There's just when you have Khalil Mack and you got that guy wanting to leave.
Amari Cooper goes
to Dallas and just problems.
Cool.
No problems.
Hey, that was an Oakland thing.
It was an Oakland thing, but it was a Bama thing.
Oh, was it?
It started at Bama.
Okay.
So that Coop chance
we'll take him. We'll take him.
I know, and I'm bitter about it because John Gruden came and here's my theory about John Gruden. Raider fans are like, oh, I love Chucky. Chucky this, Chucky that.
The black hole, Chucky.
John Gruden should be the #1 public enemy on our list.
So why does the black hole support him so much? Because he shows them love.
Because they're just homers. That black hole is so fake. So,
oh shit!
So
hey, we're getting to the nitty gritty.
They're just
soundbite.
They're those fans that just dress up and just they're more into the cosplay to the experience exactly.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about John Gruden. What has he done? And so he grooms us to win a Super Bowl, leaves, and beats us in a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
First strike. Comes back and ruins a completely team that's humming.
Yeah.
A young team with Derek Carr, Khalil Mack,
that
Amari
2016
Cooper,
team.
Michael, all that.
If Carr wouldn't have broke his leg,
all of that stuff comes and tears it down.
Yeah.
Leaves and then
almost like he's a supervillain that hates the Raiders.
That's what I'm saying. He came back and got all his money and just tarnished us.
Yeah.
And people are like, "Oh, I love Chucky."
I wonder if Al Davis did something dirty to him, to where he's like, "My whole life goal is to pay it back to the Raiders. You take your money and fuck your team off."
That's my.
That's kind of what it seems like, huh?
That's my theory on it.
And
why would you? Yeah. Who in their right mind would get rid of Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper?
None of us understood that. None of us understood that either, bro.
You have a star on offense.
People that hated the Raiders were like, yes! Like,
thank
yes,
you.
John Gruden! We love John Gruden.
And not only, so, cool, he traded them, we got five first-round draft picks.
You know how many jerseys I have in the closet I bought for the wife?
Hey, that's what I was about to say.
I bought so many, look, I bought so many jerseys that hang in the closet because Gruden got rid of them. So not only... wife doesn't wear them. I'm like, fucking great.
But here's the thing.
Winston's the only one she wears.
So not only did you get rid of those players...
Hold on. Before you fucking... Whoever the three listeners we have, there's no history with fucking Woodson. She just loves Woodson. That's her favorite player. It's a running joke. So... before you say something and he, to where the three listeners we have think that my wife is sleeping with Woodson. It's not the case.
Hey, that'd be pretty epic.
I would.
You would have to let Charles Woodson. I would. Hey, bro, here you go. You saw my pictures with Charles, right? I met him in Napa.
Yeah. But anyways,
Maxine was pretty jealous.
Probably.
You were jealous.
Before these two, she was listening to the podcast. Before these two assholes make it seem like my wife has slept with them in the past, like they're fucking high school fucking sweethearts. It's not the case. These guys need a bag of horse cock. What's the medicine? Yeah, that too.
Ivermectin.
Anyways,
so like Mike was saying, the return. So not only did you get rid of all these guys,
no, yeah, shit.
So Damon Arnett cut, Henry Ruggs jail, John Abram terrible. What are the other two?
Coop.
No.
We went over this like
Alex Leatherwood.
All their draft picks.
Terrible.
Yeah, we actually did. And it showed that Gruden was a terrible coach.
He put us in a big hole again.
Khalil Mack, what?
The thing is,
no, you got hella first round picks. And for Mack and Coop, and yes, it was wasted on...
The only good thing that man did, and I heard it wasn't even him. I heard it was...
Talking about Crosby?
Crosby.
I think those are Mike Mayock picks.
Yeah.
We have a theory in Raiders Twitter that the later rounds are Mike Mayock.
Yeah.
The first couple rounds are John Gruden. $100 million coach, he's going to run everything.
Yeah.
He's not the GM.
Well, wasn't Gruden not only the head coach, but wasn't he like... head of basketball or football, not basketball,
football operations
or some shit.
Yeah.
So if you look at our late round picks, you got Max Crosby, Nate
Crosby's
Hobbs.
a
stud. You got Nate Hobbs, who's one of the best young slot corners right now.
When did Nassib come in?
Nassib came in 2 years ago.
But it was late. It was late.
No. He came from Cleveland.
It was a trade.
Tampa Bay. He came from Tampa Bay.
Gotcha.
He had been in the league prior.
He's pretty dope too.
He's okay. He's struggling now.
Yeah, but he also...
Cleve Farrell.
Yes.
Yes. Brother, that's a worse pick than Jamarcus Russell. I'll go on air and say that.
Damn.
Because Jamarcus Russell he was a great college quarterback. He had all the talent in the world. He was just lazy. Cleveland Farrell is just not good. He's just not good. And you had Devin White. Mm-hmm. You had so many players. You had Brian Burns, Josh Allen. It's just bad. Like, you took him at 4th overall.
But hindsight's 20/20 also when it comes to picks.
This thing's gonna fall on me.
You're good. But yeah, that all goes back to me boasting about being a Cowboys fan.
You guys are hitting on picks.
Yes, we're. Yeah.
So if you look at it right now with the Cowboys, right? You look at levels. Right now, you got a star at the first level, which is Micah Parsons.
Yeah. Yeah.
You would think it was DeMarcus Lawrence, but it's Micah Parsons. And I was trying to tell your little one that he's, you know, you guys are big Diggs fans. Diggs is not your best player on defense. Michael Parsons is your best player on defense.
100%.
Honestly, I saw this thing the other day, which is a hot take, that says Tavon actually is not even a top 5 corner.
He's not.
He actually has
and
more yards.
And might get mad at that, but
he has more yards against him
yeah.
than any other corner, and the only reason he has many as interceptions
because they know that he has yards against him.
Because he is targeted almost
they
2 times as much as most number 1 corners.
Yeah.
And
no, I get it.
And then the argument is 11 turnovers to. Last time I looked,
it was like 900 something yards.
Yeah, he is.
We just talked about this, right?
Mm-hmm. And so it's like, would you take 11 turnovers for 900 yards?
I mean, with our position, yeah.
My statement is, if the offense can turn those into points.
Which
you know what I mean?
So I saw Cowboys arguments on this. They said they would rather have someone creating turnovers for points than someone shutting down a receiver for 0 yards.
Yes, absolutely.
And I guess I would too.
Yeah.
Well, what is their point? What is their turnover?
What's the differential? Yeah, it's probably good. Because their offense is good.
Oh yeah.
So I would take the 11 picks. But they're not. He's not as good as a lot of people are.
He's a good corner.
Look at his coverage grades and his run stopping grades.
Oh, it's terrible.
Terrible. They're terrible.
Yeah. So I mean, I saw that the other day, and I was like, damn, man, I didn't even know that.
So, and what is PFF anyways? Right, a lot of people don't. PFF might be BS, but PFF right now has his run grade is a 38.3, and his coverage Pro Football Focus they give the grades.
Gotcha.
His coverage grade is a 58.3
out of 100.
Out of 100. When you look at Jalen Ramsey, his is a 92 and an 88. But here's the thing.
So this is where the PFF doesn't take into account. The Dallas Cowboys are on a plus 14 turnover differential. So that means they're scoring almost every time, at least some kind of points.
Yeah.
Every time there's a turnover.
Yeah. So I would take those turnovers if we're scoring off of them.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Over my corner just shutting someone out.
Yeah.
And that's the tough thing. It's because when you look at the numbers, as a corner, if you're looking for a shutdown corner, Tavon's not it. Tavon is not your shutdown corner.
No, no.
That's going to hold your number one.
Trayvon, yeah.
Trayvon. You're not holding the dude to 2 receptions on 20 yards for a whole game. That's not the corner.
He did that with Washington's number 1.
Scary Terry.
He only had in the last 2 matchups. The last 2 matchups, he had 1 reception out of like 13.
I know, but I'm just saying.
He gave it like an 80-yard bomb to like Kendrick Bourne, didn't he, from the Patriots?
I don't know what Terry or whatnot. I think they targeted him like 13 times in the last 2 times we played him, and Trayvon's only gave it 1 reception.
I think he's had his number since college though.
Yeah.
From what I've heard, Ohio State.
He runs his routes better than he does.
Probably.
Yeah.
There's plays where I'm like, oh, Trayvon looks shut down. Then he gets blown up by a double move, and I'm like, I've watched him, and I feel like he would be better as a safety with everything in front of him.
He was a wide receiver in college. They switched him.
Yeah.
So that's probably why he runs routes good,
Yeah.
Backpedaling, but
last year he struggled a lot because the picks weren't there.
Yeah. There was a few, I think he had like 3 or 4 picks on the season.
Yeah.
This is only his second season.
Mm-hmm. Well, and so my thing is and this could be my thought process. I would rather have a bend don't break defense.
Yeah.
So if Trayvon wants to give up fucking 4,000 yards,
that's how
he's only given up 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
On the year.
One of them was a long one too.
Yeah, and I mean whatever. But so you're telling me that he gives up all these yardage, gives me 11 picks, and my offense converts those points.
Yeah.
And he only gives up 2 touchdowns. Is that
so? He's given up 12 points.
So he goes back to: is he the best shutdown corner in the league?
No,
not even fucking close.
No.
Can he do his job in a bend don't break defense? Yeah, because if your offense is putting up 7, and my defense can give up 3 every fucking drive, and I wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
if your offense can put up 7.
Yeah,
and so that's the trade-off. So if he's going to keep getting burnt and the offense can't give him some support, that's when he goes to the wayside.
That's when he gets traded.
Exactly.
That's when it's an issue.
That Dan Quinn defense is playing good right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's all starting up front.
And the shitty thing is, Dan Quinn's going to be a head coach somewhere next year. Kellen Moore's going to be.
You think Dan Quinn will go back to being a head coach? I wasn't a very good head coach.
I don't know. It's hard to say, but like we've talked about, the shittiest thing with sports, or especially football, is the better your coordinators do,
they get plucked.
Yeah, they get plucked out. And now
Kellen Moore is gone.
Yeah,
maybe. Like
it depends on if
you guys just
if he wants to leave.
Yeah,
I wish Romo would come back and coach. To be honest.
Yeah, so I wouldn't have to hear him loving all over Patrick Mahomes. Dude, he's so in love with Mahomes.
Him and my son both, bro.
And I'm gonna say this. I've been saying this forever. Mahomes needs to separate himself
from his brother,
and his fucking fiance.
Yes, yes.
His personal life is dragging his professional life down.
Yes.
Well, he struggled tremendously in the beginning of the year. He's still struggling a little bit. Yeah. He's had a couple good games lately,
but he hasn't been the Mahomes for.
Oh, by the way, back to the Dan Quinn real fast.
Okay.
I had seen something earlier and I was double checking. The Jaguars actually reached out to him and he said, "No thanks. I'm here to kick ass and have a blast with the Cowboys."
Hey!
That was his exact response to the Jaguars.
That's
cool. He's already not been successful as a head coach. Yeah. I can see that. Kellen Moore's going to want to be a head coach.
Well, he hasn't had that shot. Like,
not yet.
Quinn's already been like,
Quinn's
okay,
I already been through.
I know the responsibility and all that.
But Quinn is also up for NFL Assistant of the Year, Assistant Coach of the Year.
He better fucking win that.
Yeah. Do you know this without having to look it up? The Chargers head coach.
I don't know.
It's not Todd Bowles.
All right, look it up.
It's not Bowles.
No, he's the DC for the Bucs.
That's right. Who the fuck is it? Once he says it, we're gonna be like, son of a bitch.
I'm pretty sure we talked about this the other day, like in text. No, we didn't. Brandon Staley.
No, I wouldn't have done that.
So he was the DC for the Rams.
Gotcha. That didn't even sound familiar.
When they had that stout defense.
Because like their whole coaching staff was like under 35 or something. Mm-hmm. The Rams, when it was McVay, Staley, they all were.
You can't tell me McVay's like either a cokehead or takes Adderall.
Yeah. That no.
And Adderall, if it's prescribed, is legal.
No, that motherfucker is like, okay, if he's not, and I'm not gonna say he's on all these drugs. That motherfucker's on like the upper echelon of fucking pre-workouts.
But hey, coach don't get tested.
Like upper echelon of like for any of y'all out there, that motherfucker's on like he does like a double dose of C4 pre-workout. That motherfucker's like just coming out the fucking locker room, just like literally he just dry scooped 2 scoops of fucking C4 and just.
And Aaron Donald's his trainer.
Nah,
he's Aaron Donald's trainer.
Brian Cushing. Right. Brian Cushing's his trainer.
But what? Dude from Baylor.
Sean Oakman.
Yeah. The difference is Brian Cushing does.
I know. I get it. But I'm saying about physique.
They were almost going to take his defensive player of the year, rookie of the
year. Yeah. We talked about that, I think.
Yeah.
That guy would headbutt you with no helmet.
Yeah, bust his shit wide open as shit.
He loved it though. He loved it.
Yeah, he did. He lived for it.
Yeah, because when you're on a PCP, bro, you don't feel shit. You love everything on PCP.
Without the injuries, man, that guy was pretty good.
Who was?
I was talking to someone the other day because I was talking about...
This is going to be our longest podcast ever, huh? What are we at right now?
147.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Seems like we've been talking for...
We have been
talking about 4 hours.
Oh, that's how
it always does.
Yeah.
But no, it seems like... I thought we were at least 2.5 hours right now.
Oh, yeah, no.
Okay.
But no, I was talking... I think I was at work. I was talking to somebody about... The 3 USC linebackers that all came out that year. It was Brian Cushing.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Oh, it might have been us. Ray Maluga and then Matthews. All 3, they were on that cover of ESPN flexing in their USC shit.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Clay Matthews has to be the most successful out of all those guys.
That's what I was saying. Like, when you look back, you're like, what happened to that group? Like, Brian Cushing. Brian Cushing. I mean, he obviously won Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But... It is severely tainted by his multiple positives for steroids.
Now you got me on this USC thing. Which big USC guy comes out and actually plays good? Look at Reggie Bush.
Yeah, no.
Look at Sam Darnold.
I'm trying to think.
There's got to be some, but most of their big stars go in the league and they never pan out.
No, you're not wrong.
No,
USC was what? Does anybody know their nickname? Running back U. That's their nickname.
But
Nate, I've literally look it up. They've been referred to as running back U.
Really?
Name a running back that's made it in the NFL out of there.
Yeah. Bro, you want? I'll tell you. So there's
obviously Reggie Bush. Reggie Bush had a career.
He had a career, but he was so hyped up that
was it the career we expected?
He's like Andrew Wiggins.
Look, Lynn Swann, Marcus Allen, Frank Gifford, O.J. Simpson, Ronnie Lott, Anthony Munoz, Reggie Bush.
So just a lot of older guys.
Yeah, Troy Polamalu, Clay Matthews, Bruce Matthews, Willie Wood, Carson Palmer, Junior Seau, Rodney Peete, Leonard Williams, Ray Maluga, Willie McGinnis, Keyshawn Johnson, Sam Darnold, Lofa Tatupu. Did I say it? No.
The fullback from...
played for the Seahawks, looks like. Yeah. Robert Woods, Tim Rosovic, Tim McDonald, Marlon McKeever, Ryan Khalil, Matt Castle, Jason Sehorn, holy shit.
That's what I'm saying. So as we're reading all these, look at their big name quarterbacks that were supposed to be really good. Those guys didn't pan out.
Yeah, no, I'm just...
A lot of their bigger stars, I felt like, it was what I meant. Because after you're reading that list, they got a lot of good players.
Yeah, they had a lot.
Well, it's like how far back did that list?
That's what I'm saying. At some point, the program, someone took over, and the program started kind of.
I watched the whole thing about USC.
These are their top 10 running backs, and they've been called running back.
They're running back university.
That's what it's been called. And obviously it's probably honestly shifted more towards Bama now because Bama's been putting out some running backs. Their number 10 is Frank Gifford. That's the number 10 guy.
Yeah.
Frank Gifford. 9 is John Arnett.
Frank Gifford died a couple years ago.
John Arnett. Their 8 is Lindell White.
Okay.
7 is Mike Garnett. 6 is Ricky Bell. 5 is Anthony Davis.
He's not even the most known Anthony Davis from LA.
Hey, you know what's crazy?
No shit.
Reggie Bush is the 4th ranked on this list.
Wow.
For running backs. OJ is
Simpson.
3.
Oh, yeah, O.J. Simpson for sure.
Charles White is number 2.
Really?
It says statistically no running back was as good as White, who rushed for a conference record 6,245 yards at USC. Over 1,000 yards more than the second place guy.
How many years though? How many years did he play?
He won the Heisman in 1979. When he ran for 2,050 yards.
But shit.
Yeah, so.
But that was back when running backs were fucking tanking everybody.
And then Marcus Allen was the number 1.
Of course, Marcus Allen for sure.
He ran in 1981. He ran for 2,427 yards and 22 touchdowns.
Then Marcus Allen went to the Raiders. And then Bo Jackson, there was that issue where Al pinned them against each other.
Yeah.
And
Al Davis and Marcus Allen.
On that whole,
yeah.
So
why though?
Honestly, if you look at that list,
racist.
If you look at that list, all those running backs are older.
Yeah.
Minus Reggie Bush.
So somewhere
I'm saying,
that program.
But you can't call him running back. You know.
That was their nickname.
That's Alabama. And they might even be wide receiver university too.
Honestly, Alabama's just NFL prodigies.
Yeah.
Really, if we
it was Alabama that had 12.
They had
draftees this last draft.
They had 11 or 12 taken in the first day, first or second round.
They're
100%. There's people trying to argue that LSU.
Yeah, Nick Saban.
LSU is close second, probably to wide receiver university. But let's talk Alabama. You got Julio, Mari Cooper,
Najee.
I'm talking about wide receivers.
Oh, okay.
Wide receiver university.
Jerry Jeudy,
Henry Ruggs. Before what happened with him.
So his personal shit, that his dumbassness, doesn't take away
what he was turning into. You can see the talent was jumping out of the screen.
Yeah.
Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle.
Yeah.
It's just the list goes on with those guys.
If you think about it, right now, how many Bama players are starters in the NFL?
Probably 49 to 50% of the NFL.
You think that?
So that's probably a crazy number, but
I'd say probably 20, 25%. Because at least
I started this question on Google. It says how many NFL starters automatically the first fucking thing is from Bama.
Yeah. Damn.
It leads the nation with the most players in the starting lineup.
Damn.
So, like, you go to Bama, you have a big chance of... Like, that's probably the ultimate...
But at the same time, you don't
get
selected
right
Bama
now,
or a
Alabama...
offer unless you are proving yourself, yeah.
So, right now, Alabama has 54 players that are starting.
Holy shit.
That are Alabama alumni.
Out of 2,500 players in the NFL?
But starters.
Starters.
So
think about that.
So that's 22.
32 times...
22.
Well, I mean,
about 600.
specialty, yeah.
So if you take just say around 600, so 54 out of just say 700 to round up.
About 12%.
Ohio State is actually second.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Ohio would be...
Ohio State's got to be there.
Right there with LSU.
LSU is 47.
Yeah.
Georgia has 36.
Miami or Florida, any of those up there?
Oregon. No, Oregon.
Oregon pushes out
not that many.
Oregon... So Notre Dame is actually 5th. Well, actually, they're technically tied for 4th.
Really?
Where's Penn State?
36. Notre Dame puts out the big guys.
Yeah, linebackers.
I'm talking like O-line.
And linebackers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Notre Dame puts out those O-line and like those big guys that just...
corn-fed. They're corn-fed white boys.
So Clemson and Iowa and Michigan are all tied.
Well, Iowa's Tennessee, or is tight end university.
So
they pushed out George Kittle, Noah Fant, T.J. Hawkinson.
Yeah.
All those guys went to Iowa.
And J.J. Watt went there as a tight end at first before he ended up going to Wisconsin and switching defense.
So they all have 34 starters.
That's crazy, though. J.J. Watt was a tight end.
Well, I mean, his brother plays full.
No, I'm just saying. It's crazy that he was in, what did we say? Where was it? Tight end at
Iowa,
and then transferred to Wisconsin.
He has NFL touchdowns, too.
Scored one against the Raiders that I was there live for.
I scored against Titans in Houston.
Yeah. And so, so Florida's at 9 with 32, and Penn State's actually at 10 with 31.
That's what I was asking. Penn State. Micah Parsons, fucking...
Saquon.
There you go.
And this was as of September 16th of this year.
So, yeah.
And Alabama, though, it's just from every level. They produce linemen, linebackers.
Somebody in this tweet, because it's a Twitter post from... Sunday Night Football on NBC or whatever. The first, one of the top things says, question is, if you constructed a roster of all the players from Alabama outside of kicker and punter, do you think they would make the Super Bowl?
Damn. Of all of them for the
history?
Well,
let's see, because quarterbacks...
Well, no, just in the NFL.
Right? Quarterback's a big thing. I would say no.
Because
Mac Jones would probably be the... And you would have to talk about coaching, because... I don't think Mac Jones without... I don't know, though. That Alabama team would be stacked. Derrick Henry would start at running back.
Najee being his backup.
It would be his backup.
Yeah.
And then you'd literally have Jerry Jeudy.
Amari Cooper.
Henry Ruggs. I mean, obviously, we're not talking about the league.
I think you were saying right now, though, right?
Yeah.
So I don't even know if I'd have Julio there right now.
Or would you have Henry Ruggs there because of the legal shit?
Well, this is as of September, so his legal shit happened.
Henry Ruggs still be a deep threat.
Jalen Waddle alone, he's really good.
There'd be too many wide receivers to run a squad.
Yeah, they'd have to fucking put some on defense. No,
I don't think is there any good tight end right now from them?
I don't know.
Tight ends and linebackers, they don't produce many good ones.
There's some guys who everybody thinks they're going to be studs out of Bama out of linebacker, and
then are studs there. They just don't.
Rolando McClain
transfer. Yeah,
I know firsthand.
Yeah, you met him.
I met him.
Yeah.
Who's the? I would say. Let's see. Rolando McClain. There was another one. Just recently, he might have went to the Chiefs. Who's their big linebacker that he just had?
I don't know. I'll look over. David's rubbing the fuzzy walls.
So right now, I'm trying to look.
Is this by position?
So I can't sort it by position, but these are the guys right now that are in. This is a long list. So
let's go off the list and see if they're good or not.
Yeah.
Deontay Thompson,
safety.
Yep, plays for the Cardinals. He's actually technically second on their depth chart.
Yeah, he's played for the Panthers. He's kind of bounced around. He's not the best. Their secondary's not the best either. Watch, we'll figure it out. So we'll say he's not that good.
AJ McCarron.
Terrible.
The quarterback?
He's a third string for the Falcons.
Ass.
Yeah.
Calvin Ridley.
Calvin Ridley was...
we're over here talking about receivers and not even talking... Calvin Ridley's a beast. He had some mental health issues this year, but he runs routes like no other.
And who did he play for last?
Falcons. He plays for the Falcons,
Falcons,
he just had a mental illness break this year.
Anthony Everett.
Is that linebacker?
No, he's a cornerback for the Ravens. He's actually their starting cornerback right now.
Okay.
The guy with the red hair. He got picked on a lot this year. He's not bad.
And then also for the Ravens, Bradley Bozeman. He's the starting center.
He's good. Bradley Bozeman's good.
Starting center.
Yeah, he's good.
Also for the Ravens, Marlon Humphrey.
Wow.
Oh yeah, Marlo did go there. Okay.
Linebacker?
He's fourth on their depth chart right now. To me, he's honestly kind of at the
he used to be really good.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. He's kind of tailing off.
Okay.
Yeah, but he was a top 5 corner for a while.
Yeah.
He knocks out fumbles like Peanut Tillman did.
Levi Wallace.
Yeah, not that good.
He's starting cornerback for the Bills right now.
This is Wallace.
Actually, no. Levi Wallace is decent.
He's
turned into a good career. He wasn't the best.
Deontay Brown, Panthers. He's a guard.
Okay.
He said technically on here it says he's second on their depth chart.
Okay. So we've had what, 1 starter so far?
No, we've had
2.
3.
Okay, 3.
Yeah.
3. We've had Anthony Everett, Bradley Bozeman, and Levi Wallace. Calvin Ridley is actually he's listed as 3rd on their depth chart
right now.
He's
their number 1.
Yeah, so as of now he's listed.
Okay.
And so Thomas Fletcher, he's a long snapper for the Panthers.
Okay.
Yeah,
he's 4th on their depth chart. Eddie Jackson.
Eddie Jackson's good. Safety for the Bears.
Starting safety for the Bears.
Had a great 2 years. He's kind of fallen off, but he's still pretty good.
Look, Los is the fucking... He's... I don't know.
What
would the book be called?
Was it? Jonah Williams is a pretty good tackle.
This motherfucker.
For the Bengals?
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Miller Forlestall. He's a tight end.
Yeah.
5th string for the Browns.
No,
it says
if I don't know the guy,
squad.
then
Practice squad.
If you don't know the guy, then
I've never heard that name.
Ronnie Harrison.
Sounds familiar, but I
starting safety for the Browns.
Yeah, he's decent.
Jedrick Willis Jr.
Oh, he's great. Another offensive tackle.
Yeah, left tackle.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Mac Wilson.
Linebacker for Cleveland?
Yeah, he's an inside linebacker. He's actually technically 2nd on their depth chart.
That's another one where I said their linebackers don't really pan out.
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, he's great. Wide receiver 1.
Trayvon.
Great right now with the turnovers.
Robert Foster, also for the Cowboys. Practice squad wide receiver. Practice squad wide receiver.
Never that.
Oh, well.
And then your boy Ha
Clinton Dickhead.
Practice squad safety for the Broncos.
Which is
he's
crazy. He was a big
the Raiders. He was with us this year.
He's like Isaiah Thomas, the NBA. Like he actually put up numbers.
Kareem Jackson.
Kareem Jackson's he was a good safety corner.
It's funny because I feel like we play him at safety, but
he's a hybrid.
But it says corner on here.
Yeah.
It says his position is corner, but he's the number 1 safety on our depth chart.
Well, he first started out as a corner.
Yeah.
But he's a good tackling safety.
So, and then Jerry Jeudy, obviously.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Surtain.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about Patrick Surtain, yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Cowboys haven't.
Sean Dion Hamilton. He's a inside linebacker for the Lions.
Okay.
But he's like 4th on their depth chart. Deshaun Hand.
Don't know.
This doesn't make sense to me because he's a DN for the Colts. It says
I've seen him actually make some plays on.
It says practice squad, but first, which means how can he be on the practice squad but first on their lineup?
He's probably a rotational guy.
And then Kelly Ryan. Colts. Or no, Ryan Kelly, Colts. He's the center. He's actually so on here it says he's the 2nd center in the lineup. He's probably had to play a lot, obviously. This year. And then Dylan Moses, Jaguars inside linebacker. Yeah, he's a third string.
That's what I'm saying. Let's keep track of the linebackers. They're not that good.
But obviously, I bet you if you look at their college stuff.
Oh, great.
And then obviously we have Cam Robinson.
Okay.
Offensive tackle.
Is he still with the Jags?
Yeah, still with the Jags, starting left tackle. Yeah. Greg Dieter is a wide receiver for the Chiefs, actually.
Practice squad?
Yeah, practice squad.
Are we still going around this shit?
Oh, yeah. Jaron Reed.
Hey, he's a good safety.
He's a defensive tackle.
Oh, for the Chiefs.
Yeah,
Jaron Reed.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought they were talking about, what's his name?
Los is the fucking index. He's an NFL football index. Yeah.
Terrell Lewis.
Terrell Lewis?
He's a... It says Will... W-I-L-L is how...
He's playing weak side linebacker?
No. That's where he is at on the depth chart. Will is what it says. So
what the heck is that?
I don't
he's
know.
willing to do whatever.
It's the only guy...
willing to do whatever.
The man's willing to play wherever he wants to play.
Yeah, he literally...
He's willing to wash your car to get a spot.
Only dude on this thing that I've seen Will on. So let's just roll past this guy.
Whatever. He's got willpower.
Yeah, he's got willpower.
Sean Robinson.
He's a good defensive tackle.
Yeah. It says he starts out at... end right now for the Rams.
Yeah, he was okay. He was better when he played with Washington.
Tony Brown. He's a practice squad guy for you guys.
Tony Brown?
Yeah. Cornerback, practice squad for the Raiders. You guys actually have 6 Alabama guys right now signed to you.
Yeah, we have a lot of Bama boys.
Lester Cotton.
Lester Cotton Sr. Yeah.
That's racist.
He's a practice squad guard.
Yep.
We used him a lot last year.
Jeez.
Kenyon Drake.
Yeah.
Kenyon Drake.
Drake's a stud.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
Alex Leatherwood.
Yeah.
And Damian Square, who's also a practice squad.
DT.
It says D end on here.
Yeah, he plays a DT.
Yeah, so, and then we got Raekwon Davis.
That's another linebacker that's terrible.
He's actually starting nose tackle for the Dolphins.
Raekwon Davis.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Raekwon McMillan.
Yeah.
He's going to come up on that list.
Raekwon Davis is starting
How
nose
much do we
tackle.
left on this list, though?
We're almost to the end.
I was like, shit.
Tua,
okay.
He
might start over Mac Jones.
He's shown flashes.
If we were talking about a Super Bowl squad, he leads the league.
College,
He leads the league in completion percentage right now.
Yeah.
In the whole NFL.
Damn.
I saw
80%, huh?
I saw something the other day that said
80%.
Tua is a top 3 lefty quarterback in the NFL.
How many other lefties?
That was the thing. Someone was like, "You kind of can't compare that because there's not very many lefty starters."
And who else is lefty?
Steve Young.
No, right now.
No. They said
all
time.
time.
Yeah, he's top 3 lefty of all time.
No.
So some analyst was arguing that because they're like, if you look at it, they think he's better than as a quarterback, better than Mike Vick.
No,
That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't
Mike
remember.
Vick had great arm talent.
I honestly couldn't remember who the analyst was, but someone was literally arguing
Probably
that
Colin Coward.
Look, Mike Vick, Boomer Esiason, Mark Brunell, Ken Stabler, Tim Tebow, Jim Zorn, Frankie Albert, Bobby Douglas, Kellen Moore, Paul McDonald,
Kellen Moore is in the top 500
He's a terrible quarterback.
That guy's
he was a backup. Hey, best fucking position to ever play is a back quarterback.
Oh yeah, you make hella money.
Doesn't make him any good, but
no.
Yeah, you're right.
But I mean, well, think about that: Mike Vick, Boomer Esiason, Mark Brunell, Ken Stabler, Tim Tebow.
Tim Tebow's not better than Tua.
I mean, we don't know yet.
Tebow's won a playoff game.
Yeah, we don't know yet.
One throw of the ball.
Jim Zorn.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
To DT.
Yeah. So then Jalen Waddle.
Stud.
Yeah.
Here's a tight end. We were talking about tight ends, weren't we? Irv Smith Jr.
Irv Smith is good. He's just been dealing with some injuries.
And then Dalvin Tomlinson.
Dalvin's good. Does he still play for the Giants?
No, he plays for the Vikings. Starting D tackle for them.
So he got traded.
Christian Barrymore, another D tackle.
Patriots.
Yeah.
He's played really good this year.
Damon Harris.
Okay.
Or Damian Harris, my bad. He's a starting running back for the...
Yeah, for the Patriots.
Dante Hightower. This right here is probably the best.
That's probably the best linebacker. Yeah.
Yes.
As soon as I saw, and then they have Anfernee Jennings.
Anfernee Jennings, he's not bad.
He's the 4th on their outside linebacker list, and then their starting quarterback, obviously Mac Jones.
Mm-hmm.
James Carpenter for the Saints. He's a guard.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Ingram.
Mm-hmm.
Xavier McKinney.
Oh, he's a good player. Good safety.
Good safety for the Giants. Yeah. Reggie Ragland.
Reggie Ragland was so bad. He was like Rolando McClain. He's a terrible linebacker in the league.
Starting, I mean, it's for the Giants, but starting right.
Well, he was drafted by the Chiefs in the first round, and look at now he's on another team.
So we have C.J. Mosley.
C.J. Mosley's actually a good linebacker.
Yeah.
I didn't know he went to Bama.
Yeah, he plays for the Jets right now. Mm-hmm. And then this is Ross Pierschbacher. He's a...
Never heard of her.
Sounds like a practice squad guy.
Practice squad center.
Never heard of her.
Practice squad center. Quinnen Williams.
Quinnen Williams is a stud. How did I forget about Quinnen Williams?
Landon Dickerson.
Okay.
Starting. He's he's a center, but he starts at guard for the Eagle right now. Yeah. Jalen Hurts, obviously. Mm-hmm. Jared Maiden. He's a practice squad safety.
Okay, hold on a second. I might take Jalen Hurts over Mac Jones and Tua on that team that we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, my question is, what playbook? That's the question.
That's what I'm saying. Like coaching,
that's you have to ask.
Matters.
So, Devontae Smith, wide receiver. Isaiah Buggs. He's a third-string nose tackle for the Steelers. I didn't realize that Minka played for them.
I forgot about Minka.
Yeah. So
one of the best safeties in the league.
Yeah.
Yeah, Najee Harris.
Yeah.
And then J.C.
Jackson?
Hazenyard? He's a starting center for the Steelers.
Okay. Their O-line's not that good, so...
Right.
O.J. Howard for the Bucks.
Oh, shit.
There's another tight end.
Shyheim Carter, practice squad corner for the Titans.
Okay.
Another linebacker. Here we go. Rashawn Evans for the Titans.
He's not bad.
Rashad Evans. I was like, UFC?
Derrick Henry.
Yeah. Just stud.
Probably the best player on that list.
Yeah.
Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually
probably the most coveted player on that list. Yeah. Probably the most
decorated.
Yeah. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for.
Jonathan Allen.
DE for Washington.
He's pretty
starting D tackle, Landon Collins.
Yeah.
Landon Collins was really good.
He's kind of tailing off.
He's tailing off. He's tailing off though. He's like Eddie Jackson right now.
Yeah. Defensive lineman, right?
Deron Payne.
Was he?
Yeah. Deron Payne. That's another defensive tackle.
And here comes another receiver too. Cam Sims.
Cam Sims.
He's starting wide receiver.
Probably the worst receiver on that list. That's a starter.
But I mean, he's starting.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's all the Bama guys that are in the NFL right now.
Not many scrubs on that came out of there.
They all made it to the NFL.
Yeah,
only a handful of them were practice squad. Most of them were starters.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
most of them. Yeah,
that shit's wild. But are we going to discuss Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals?
Joe Burrow.
And their last game, right?
Joe Burrow. You know that guy's cold, bro.
You know what I loved about it is when he was in LSU, his senior season, the Senior Bowl, he came out, because obviously his last name is spelled Burrow. Mm-hmm. And then just to show the city of New Orleans, how much he cared about them and respect, he came out with his jersey, and his last name was spelled Burrough. Which is the Louisiana was Creole the Creole spelling, and so that right there is just a respecting, showing how much he cares and loves the city that took him in and stuff. Yeah. So and when he put that spelling on the back, the name pad on his jersey, the whole city went fucking nuts. But also, who's the coach? What's deep ass voice or crazy voice that
at LSU?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ed. Is it? Ed.
I can't think of it.
But he's got that raspy voice, right?
I literally talked about this guy the other day.
We talked about him, I believe. We talked about him.
What's his name?
Ed Orgeron.
Yes. And now they're talking about he's getting
Go Tigers.
Yeah, he might be an NFL coach soon.
Yeah,
but
I'm just tired.
Hey, how many times have we talked about this? College, really, right now, how many college coaches are successful in the NFL?
No.
Harbaugh.
Yeah,
the only one.
Pete Carroll.
But
he had to leave and come back.
Well, the thing is, like, if you think about it, Pete Carroll won his Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
Hallbauer has
lost his Super Bowl.
No, doesn't he have? Yeah, he has one with. Was he? He was
Jim, the brother.
Yeah, no, Michigan State, Jim. That's Jim,
Michigan.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he lost with Kaepernick. Yeah.
No, I was talking about the
John.
Ravens. I was talking about the Ravens guy. He has one with Ray Lewis.
Yeah, John won, but I don't.
But I don't think he was a college
coach.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Jim's not even in the NFL right now.
No.
But we were talking about which college coaches have come and been successful in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's to go to a Super Bowl is pretty successful.
Anyways, the point I was making is Burrow is a fucking stud. First overall pick for the Bengals in 2020.
2020.
Yeah, 2020. Blew his ACL out like not even halfway through the season. Mm-hmm. Missed the rest of it. Probably would have won Rookie of the Year.
I mean, if it was the NBA, he could win Rookie of the Year this year. So
right. Some fucking what's his name?
Ben Simmons.
Yeah, Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons always Rookie of the Year, baby.
Right. So
doesn't play enough to actually count as a fucking season.
Anyways, Burrow's a fucking stud. Completely came in and shit on the Ravens. What, 525
yards?
525 yards. How many touchdowns?
4.
That's crazy.
With a completion percentage of 70-something. He was like 31 for 35.
His QBR was like 136.
136, yeah.
I think that's the max.
Yeah, and the last time he played the Ravens,
said QBR, max it.
So the Ravens and the Bengals are in the same division, so they play each other 2 times a year. And the first time he played the Ravens, he
for 400, I think.
He's over 400 and stomped their asses out that time too, which is fucking crazy. But crazy is our friend Scott, my boss now. Scott, he was visiting his family in Kentucky, his brother for Christmas. And I guess where his brother lives in Kentucky is like right across the border for Ohio. So he took him to the Bengals game. It was like a present, like let's go watch an NFL game. And it was the Bengals versus the Ravens. And Burrow just was gunslinging like a shootout. That shit's crazy though.
Yeah, he's known as you can't send blitzes on him. Yeah. Like don't go into cover 0 against him because he's one of the best. He has the best percentage. In any out of all the quarterbacks when you send a blitz on him, so he's known as like no blitz Burrow, like that's his nickname. They call him like he will destroy you if you blitz him.
And his division's kind of sad. The Ravens, who else? The Cleveland
Steelers, yeah,
and Cleveland, right? Yeah. The Browns, the Steelers, the Ravens. Mm-hmm. So it's not a shit division.
No, and since he hasn't won that division in a long time, maybe since Carson Palmer.
Yeah, since
so for him to come and come and do that right now. They're going to win the division.
Yeah, 100%. Wait. A.J. Brown was where's A.J. Brown now?
Titans.
Is he?
Okay. Are you talking about the receiver?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cincinnati, the Bengals receiver last season, right? Was it A.J. Brown? No. A.J. Green.
Oh, A.J. Green. He plays for the Cardinals.
Okay. So
I saw a TikTok with that guy the other day.
Yeah.
He wasn't even because he wasn't playing. And it was like, I don't even know what it was, but I was like, man, you're just over here making TikToks in your street clothes on the sideline, bro, while everybody else out here fucking...
Still not as bad as Mahomes' little brother making fucking TikToks on Sean Taylor's memorial.
Hey,
yeah, we're not getting into sexuality on this podcast.
That was half him and half the football team.
The staff were letting him.
Yes, yeah. Yes.
Because supposedly they told him to stand there.
So yeah, supposedly he wasn't the only person they let stand on that memorial.
The fiance too was out there.
Yeah, that's
other
bullshit.
People too. They were having like everybody that was allowed on the field stand on that thing.
Yeah, Washington football team, y'all are wrong for that bullshit.
They're wrong for everything they do.
And so is Jackson Mahomes.
Mm-hmm. He needs to be canceled. Like that's one guy that needs to be. And to be honest, we're talking about
him and his
sexuality with him. He posts on Snapchat himself making out with girls and stuff. So,
well, so when you hear his voice and you see
he's feminine,
he's very, and everything points to him being a homosexual. Which is, if you are, that's fine.
Cool, yeah.
But then he puts on TikTok saying he's not,
and he's got girlfriends and stuff. Yeah. So
it should. I don't know. Whatever.
It's his business.
It's a metrosexual.
Yeah.
Metrosexual shit.
So
whatever.
It's his business. Just stay the hell away from the NFL. I don't like you, and I hope someone whoops his ass.
And that's not a gay bashing or straight bashing.
No, it's him disrespecting the NFL.
Yes.
And like the video when he threw a drink on the fans.
The Ravens fans.
Like, bro, like stay in your place. Like
even if the fans are instigating that shit, like
that's what happens. You're at a Raven game. Those Raven games are crazy.
You're the brother of fucking one of the biggest names. Biggest names quarterback.
He's just coattail, right?
Yeah, it is. So
I mean, it's gotten him to where he's.
Oh, he's nothing without his brother.
Yeah. At this point, he's got blue check marks on.
Mm-hmm. Shouldn't have. Gonna wrap it up.
Yeah, we're
we're like 12 hours now. Anyways, so I think that's gonna finish it off for the podcast. We had some guests on tonight. One that didn't speak, just laughed.
Oh, he said Ole Miss once.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he said Ole Miss.
And then he giggered.
A couple times. We have our brother Carlos on the podcast. Hopefully, again.
Yes, sir.
This is nice.
It's cool. I appreciate you guys letting me on.
We appreciate you coming with your knowledge, too. You're a fucking Rolodex.
Yeah, I love this stuff.
But on behalf of the Big and Blizz podcast, Big Mike and myself, Lizzie, signing out till next week. Peace.